Ready? 3, 2, 1. Good morning. Welcome to Chopperz Radio, another episode here. We are live in New York, Tribeca Barber School, with my co-host Phil the Barber, Keno the Barber. As you see in the back, we got Truth the Barber, we got Chef the Barber,
we're
Fitz
here.
The Barber.
We're in Truth's home.
We got Macho from MVP Performance as well. We got Gavo Julio in the building, one of the sponsors, man.
We got a big team.
Yo, we had an exciting night last night in Times Square filming that little video there, man.
Definitely
that
did.
was awesome, man.
First time doing
guys, if you were live on the Instagram, let me know how you
Oh,
felt
yeah,
about Phil's cousin from Dubai.
That
dude, we left him back in the hotel room.
Yeah, he's back in the room. I don't know if he's repeats.
Oh my god,
yeah, that was crazy.
But
there's still five left in the car.
And
yeah, those are from Macho. Macho's got one in his pocket right now.
At KenoTheBarber.com.
But it's always great. Keno might sell them.
Oh,
who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man?
It's always great to come to New York. You get White Castle where you don't get nowhere else, and then the glam, the lights, the atmosphere, the air is different. You get a second wind once you get inside New York. It's exciting, you know.
It is, man.
So,
it is, man.
You see a lot of things you don't see back home.
Yeah, that's one thing. You see a lot of crazy stuff.
We seen a guy doing push-ups last night.
Almost naked.
Almost pretty much naked in Times
Square.
Square.
With the angry mask on.
With a mask on, and it was like...
There was some other parts there, too.
That we can't talk about.
Out here, but that was interesting, man. He was going in on the pumps.
If it wasn't cold, I would have joined him.
Yo, Phil was intrigued by that. But that's crazy.
No, so we ended up doing some haircuts last night. Actually, we cut Hatchet's hair.
We got Hatchet, man. Yeah. Hatchet got a threesome.
Yep, it was no, it was 4.
Oh, he got a foursome.
Yeah, he got a foursome last night. With
he was kinky with it.
We had I started it off. We had Hatchet. We buckled him up. We put a cape on him, pulled out the cordless clippers.
Yo, shout outs to Gavo for that, man. That cape, with the logo looks sick, man.
Julio.
And the material.
That was real right there.
Awesome. I love it.
You know?
Yeah, man. So today we are bringing to you a lot of topics. We're here in Tribeca Barber School
with Truth the Barber.
Truth the Barber. So,
thanks, Truth, for having us.
Shout outs to the director of the school, Robert, too, as well.
Robert.
We're going to be talking about a lot of interesting topics. So we got Hatchet the Barber who's going to be talking about sanitation. We got Chef, Phil, Macho from MVP Performance. They're going to be talking about the business talk and what it is to own a barbershop on the come up and how to go about it. We also got a demonstration from Keno the Barber, so it's going to be interesting. And we got the young man, Fitz the Barber, who's only, 17 years old, Fitz?
Fitz.
We just turned
Fitz,
18, man.
We just found out Fitz is actually Chef's son. Yes. Fitz is Chef's first child.
Chef 26, baby.
Chef has 17 kids and Fitz is the first one.
Damn.
Right? We just found that out. Right.
He be getting it. Follow us at Chopperz.com. You already know we're always live on YouTube. So always subscribe to our channels, comment down below, hit that notification bell button. So right now we're gonna introduce Hatchet, and Hatchet is gonna talk about sanitation and the right process of how to be a clean barber, how to show this to your clients. Hatchet, where you at, man?
You have to. This is there's a lot of stuff behind the sanitation.
Oh yeah.
And the cleaning in your products and your implements. So
the audience or the camera?
Oh, you could talk to. You want to have Truth right here too, so they could both talk about this. Cause Truth's in the school. It's probably a great thing for them.
Yeah.
I'll get up.
Stand
You want me to?
here.
You want me to move so you could?
They could sit right here. Why not?
Yeah, they could do it.
Come on. You guys, you know what?
Yeah, you could sit forward.
Truth has the school, and you know a lot about sanitation.
All right.
You guys have to.
Remember?
So, where are we going with this?
Don't worry. You don't gotta talk into them.
Oh, okay. So we're talking to the audience.
We're talking to the audience.
So my name is Justin, and I represent Sanitary Plus Systems. I'm known in the industry as Hatchet the Barber, and my purpose today is to bring awareness to proper sanitation and the way that we should do and operate in every single haircut. When we think about sanitation, it's not a one-time event. It's a certain number of procedures that we have to follow throughout the day in order to be in they have different laws, and there's not any certain way to do things. And Sanitary Plus Systems has come up with a system in place to manage the possibility of cross-contamination and infection control in barbershops. So that's very important. And why do you think that is important, Chef? That sanitation is practiced properly?
Because you got to look out for you and the client. You know, you got to make sure you're not passing diseases and, you know, bacteria. You got to, the last thing lawsuits, you know, etc. You got to make sure that, you know, the client's taken care of that way. And
okay.
yeah, and then, like I said, you're not handing over diseases to your clients, and then that client's handing disease to someone else. And
So
like that.
a big thing that we started was back in 2011 was sanitation is your representation. So how you operate in your barbershop is gonna carry with you, and it's gonna be your reputation. And if you accidentally mess up and you're not practicing properly, it can hurt your reputation as a business, and then you will sink. And that's what we don't want. You don't want your a bad reputation in your city, saying that someone got a disease from that shop, or those people aren't. It can really affect your business. But if you're doing it right, you can retain your business, because if now you're properly educating your clients that are in your chair, and you're telling them the steps that you're going through and the procedures that you're doing in order to ensure their safety and their kids' safety, then that's going to retain your business, and they're not going to go to another shop because they're not going to feel safe. Or if they do have an opportunity to go to another shop and they're not operating the way you do, that's going to bring your business back to you. So without doing the haircut, without looking at the haircut, there's things that you can do in order to be a more successful barber, with not mentioning how the haircut comes out, but the procedures that you're doing throughout the day. So a lot of how often? Always. If you're not, so with the system that we have in place, it's a number of procedures that go in order to maintain and kind of guide you throughout your day, so that if you're doing these steps properly, that there's no reason why any cross-contamination should happen between clients, because there's things.
Sanitizing and sterilizing everything, right? All your
Yep. So we deal with we're talking about sanitation, and there's 3 levels of sanitation. There's sterilization. There's sterilization. There's sanitizing, and then there's disinfecting. So there's 3 levels of that. In the barbershop, we don't sterilize a lot of things. They become disinfected after a certain contact time.
How long should they be disinfected for?
Most it depends on the disinfectant that you're using. On the back of the can, it will say the proper contact time to use for that product. Most of it's 10 to 15 minutes. If you're not allowing your clippers to have that contact time with the spray on there, then you're basically just rinsing off your clippers and going on to the next client. You didn't disinfect anything, so there is no level of sterilization in what you're doing.
Is this taught in your school, Truth? Like, do the kids
disinfection?
Yes.
Yes.
Sterilization, sanitation.
Yes, we teach them the difference between disinfecting and sterilization. There's a difference. One is like the nuclear bomb, which is sterilization, and disinfection is sort of like the Lysol can with the air freshener. It kills 99.9, so it doesn't kill everything.
Right.
But we teach them the difference, between those two, and it's important that every barber take it seriously, because it is a problem in a lot of shops where there is cross-contamination and a lot of viruses and diseases are spread. And we not only have to bring awareness, I think, to students, but also to barbershop owners, because a lot of my students graduate And one thing that I notice when they come back to me is when they tell me, oh, listen, when I went to the shop, I was cleaning everything that you taught us. We were doing it, and the owner told me not to disinfect my stuff so much because then the customers will see that and they'll expect the other barbers to do the same thing. So I said, what? What? Yeah. So this is the type of stuff that goes on in barbershops where owners brainwash these students into teaching them incorrectly now, after we taught them correctly how to clean their stuff.
You being a teacher,
yes.
Have you ever gone to a shop and witnessed or experienced something like that? Like, have you seen somebody use a razor, maybe not on you, but say he was getting a haircut with another barber and you're waiting your turn and you see like they don't change the razor or spray the machine right. Have you noticed that? And if you did you take?
Well, there's been a few times I've gotten haircuts from friends or former co-workers, and sometimes, you know, they know when they cut me, they gotta be on their game with the cleaning, because I watch everything. I don't let, you know, people, you know, use the same clipper on me that they use on somebody else without cleaning it properly. And, you know, one of the most craziest stories I heard since I've been in the school was a student said that his father, who was a barber for, I don't know, 30-something years, he came back and said that his dad said, it's okay for you to disinfect your clippers once a week. You don't have to spray it after every customer. So I said, what?
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
That's scary because I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, one thing I like to do.
Sure, go ahead.
One thing that I like to do purposely between cuts, I like to, when I get the next strip on, the cake, you know, turn them around and let them watch me spray my clippers.
Yep, that's very important.
But then I use another one. So I kind of got 2 of everything. And 9 out of 10, people say, what are you doing? Or I've never seen that done, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
And yeah, so a lot of shops really don't practice that. And I get that daily. No exaggerations, daily. You guys fist, man. People be like, or they'll say something like, I like the way that shop cuts my hair. But last time I left with a rash or this and that, blah, 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 and I'll see it on their skin. You know, and I never down talk a shop ever.
Right.
You know, but when I showed them, you know, they say, the client, they come out and say, it's probably because you just sprayed down your clippers. Or even with combs, like when barbers like, oh, I only got 1 trim or this and that, I always tell them, buy 2 of everything. Barbers, I like to use brushes.
Yeah.
I'm a comb guy.
So here's another thing. I'm sorry.
I want to say one thing. Like, I'm a comb guy, but if I use brushes, one, I got multiple brushes and they're always in the ship shape or whatever, or they're clean. I never use the same brush on the client. Or 2, like, I'll tell the client, do you have a brush? But like, that's all part of sanitation. It's kind of scary.
They also gotta understand that not just to spray the clippers, but the guards and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the actual thing that's going to be installed, you know, in your hair.
So with the guards, those can actually fit right into your barbicide jars. And I mean, you can't just cram every guard in there because you'll run out of space. But when you're thinking ahead of time and you have things like extra dry storage and you have things like an extra barbicide jar, those are things that you can use in order to be more efficient in your workday throughout the day, so that you don't have to waste time going to a sink, coming back to your station, doing all the things that we're supposed to be doing properly, but that there's no system in place that is there kind of coaching us. Because you get busy, you get behind the day, you're 15 minutes behind on a haircut, and then your next appointment's been waiting there for 10 minutes. Do you have time to run to the sink, spray your clippers, and wait that 10 or 15 minutes? No. It's going to kind of cause you to practice improperly. And
which is mainly the most part on barbers.
which is on the barber, but at the same time, it's preparation. And you have to be prepared for these things. If you're coming out of school, you're probably not going to do 15 straight haircuts. There's going to be downtime, and you're going to have time to get up and.
What about like that gentleman right there? He goes to school here, right?
Yeah.
I see there's a lot of people walking.
Actually, I want to ask him. You guys got any questions towards him, like just specifically on sanitation and what you expect towards when you graduate school and what to expect when you work in a real barbershop?
I mean, I just started, to be honest with you, so I'm learning every day something new.
Well, that's
what you're
good.
saying right now is like I'm taking it in.
Yeah.
So
this is why we built this brand, and why I'm an ambassador, and why I represent them. It's because this is important, and there's a lot of things in the industry right now that are not going right and not going correctly, and that's what the state is trying to do, but the state can't do a good enough job about it. There's so many barbershops, they can't regulate everything. So in order to practice properly and bring safe, safe experience for our clients, we have to go through these procedures, and it's up to the barber who wants to be that professional and stand out from the rest that's going to do these things day in and day out, because he knows it's making a difference for him in his shop, not because it's making his life easier. Remember, guys.
But what would you say to a young kid that only has one machine and is still working his way up? Like, how would you suggest him take his 10 minutes in between cuts? If not, he could lose a client, and he might be hungry and really wanting to do it. Like,
he wants to learn. He wants to do as many. So he wants to do as many haircuts as he can in a day, right? So if the shop's busy and all the students are busy and there's someone waiting for a haircut, he's gonna grab that haircut. We have to instill, because he's a student, we have to instill the sanitation processes, so that when he goes into the real field, that then he can practice it and be aware of what he's doing. If he's not aware of it and nobody tells him that he's not doing it wrong, then he's just gonna keep on going about doing it how he's doing it now.
It's definitely discipline.
Okay, what should he do in that case?
You said he had a busy weekend. So what should he do once he finished one client and he jumps to the next client, and so on?
Something that you can do instead of using
So the best thing for
if his
him,
haircut takes him half an hour, and he starts with the clipper, right? So you start your clipper. You do a lot of your clipper work at the bottom. Before you put that clipper back, spray it down. Put it away. Give that it's 10 minutes while you're finishing up the haircut, because now it has time to disinfect, and you're able to keep on working. It's not going to affect how long it goes into that haircut. If you wait until the end to spray it, and now you got to wait 10 minutes, right? So if you do it if you're doing these procedures as you're working and you're constantly thinking about these things, it's not going to affect your workday. It's not going to affect your business. It's not going to affect your time. And that's what's the most important thing.
So
do you guys know the different reasons why barbers don't disinfect their clippers though? Like, have you really gone into that?
I've heard a lot.
It jams up. What about it rusts your blades? Have you heard that one?
I heard it. I heard it rust your blades.
Not to rust your blades?
That one's anti-rust. Who cares?
I've seen
But if you leave it on in large amounts, of course it's gonna rust.
Well, that's the thing.
You spray it, you just gotta wipe it.
So here's what a lot of things happen. If you keep using your clippers and you keep using your clippers and you never take that blade out, you do spray it and it gets wet and it gets gunked up in there, and then the hair dries. So there might be too much friction in your blades. So you have to, there's tricks. You can slide a razor through that to get that extra hair out. There's another thing where you can actually just take the blade out and give it a good clean, spray some air in it.
See, in our barbershop,
that's a level of sanitation, but you're cleaning out your clipper. You're not disinfecting it. That's for maintenance, so that it runs properly and that your clipper is taken care of. It's not gonna, if you never clean your clipper, if you never clean it out, never clean that hair out, it's gonna start affecting the way it's running, and you're gonna feel that. You're gonna be like, why is my clipper making a funny noise? That's because you got hair built up in there, and maybe that hair is getting cut, but you can't even see it in the middle of those clippers. But there's a lot of different things in sanitation, and there's a lot of opportunities that you can make and retain that business by educating the person in your chair about the procedures and the things that you're doing, and you're aware of that the next barber that they sit with might not be. So that's how you're going to retain your business. And
whatever's there.
you brought up, who brought up combs and brushes? Okay, so brush is a porous item. That is something that you cannot disinfect because it takes in. It's like a sponge. Anything that it takes in, it's not, you can't take it out of that.
When I went to the IBS,
They had a different brush.
they had like even the neck dusters. I bought all stuff that you could sanitize on there.
So there
gotta
are products that use certain things, but 99% of your neck dusters and your brushes
Yeah, you're right
are made of hair or porous material.
Yes.
So something that you can do is you can turn this into a business opportunity. What you can now do is you can now sell your own brushes out of your barber shop. You can tell them, if you want me to use a brush, you can purchase a $2 brush, but I like to use a comb because it's non-porous and it's easy to disinfect.
Now, you know, in the state of New York, these dust brushes aren't allowed.
Or Connecticut.
Or Connecticut, yeah.
Not allowed.
So
They
what
still use them.
We use towels.
But
Use-
if they catch you, you get fined.
Yeah, they want us to use towels.
what
first.
they want you to do is they really want you to use what they really want you
They don't know what you're using them for. They just don't want to see them on your
No,
skin.
I
I
understand.
blow
That's
dry.
what I do.
what
I blow dry everything.
what they really want you to do is they want you to use an air source.
You should clean
the
them after
safest-
every client if you do use
I
them.
disinfect
The
that.
safest way to do it is an air source, blow dryer, blow that hair right off them, and the neck area, the neck strip should be doing its job where you don't have to touch that neck until you take off the neck strip. The neck strip is there for a lot of different reasons. It's there for a lot of clients sweat, a lot of clients have acne on their neck. If you do tend to nick their neck, blood is going to drip. Where's that going to drip? It's going to drip onto the plate. If you only have one cape in your shop that day that you're using, then that cape is now disinfected, or it's infected, and it could infect other people that are coming into your shop.
That's another thing that barbers take for granted. They see it as something that's not important, which are the neck strips. They're very important. They play a big part in keeping your work habits clean. Because I know a story actually of somebody who spread ringworm from not using neck strips.
Because the neck, because the cape goes on, and they use the same cape all day, all week, all month. It's ringworm is it's a fungus, right? A fungus can grow on anything and everything.
But
It's there.
the ringworm takes about 2 weeks for it to actually show up. So before you even see it, you probably get that person ringworm 2 weeks prior.
You caused the whole
So for 2 weeks,
bad
you're passing
reputation
that
for
on.
your shop.
Yep.
And then if anybody goes to the skin doctor, they're gonna say, "Did you see a barber recently?" Because usually on that part of the neck, and then that could come right back to your business, and now you have a lawsuit. So now your business is really hurting, right?
If you don't have a license, you're in trouble.
It's not just your reputation. Now your business could get taken away from you because of improper practice. So sanitation, I believe, is very important, and I believe that you can make an opportunity by practicing properly and educating your clients, and then you'll see the difference in your business.
And your customers do notice. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, customers don't really notice." Customers do notice because when I worked full time in the barbershop and I used to clean my stuff, customers used to say, "You're one of the first barbers I've seen that cleans all his stuff before he starts cutting my hair." I noticed that type of stuff.
You're supposed to clean up before and after, pretty much.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So customers do notice, and service is one of the best ways for you to improve the quality of, your haircuts, and on top of that, it allows you to charge more for your work.
Yeah, a lot goes into it.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I would like to go back to what, like, let's say he was using one clipper, right? The one thing I would think of, if you have one clipper, one trimmer, do everything first with the clipper.
With the clipper, spray.
Like you said, then spray, and then
Put it
even
away.
detailing everything,
Yep.
and then finish off with the trimmer. Spray it, because now that the trimmer's done, your clipper's already been 10 minutes. Next client, you're gonna be using
You
the
got
clipper.
razor work. You still gotta
Yeah.
take
You guys
the
understand what
payment.
he's saying?
You still gotta take the payment.
Use
You
your
still
main-
gotta
Because by the time you use that trimmer,
you still gotta dress
20
the
minutes
next
will
client,
pass.
and then you have there's your 10 minutes that's gone by. So those are the things that you just gotta keep in mind throughout your workday,
He might jump. back
because
and forth.
it's important. It really is. I mean, it's overlooked, and people put it on the back burner and they don't really think that it's affecting them, but in the long run, it really can affect your business.
Yes. One of the things also that I feel is overlooked are the creams. A lot of people dip their fingers and their hands in the cream,
Spatulas.
and they use spatulas. Some people will use spatulas, but they keep double dipping into the cream, which defeats the purpose.
Right.
If
Spatula.
you put the spatula on the skin,
Right.
and
you
there's
put-
already like dead skin cells on
Yes.
there.
And then you're dipping it
And then
back
you're
into
dipping
the.
it back
So
in.
what's the purpose of the spatula? It's supposed to be single use. You take what you need, or if you need to grab some more,
Grab
you
another.
snap it in half, or you grab another one.
Or just have gloves.
Have gloves, right? So, and make sure there's no hairs left in the creams, because that's gross.
Even if you grab
Right.
gloves, though, you gotta grip different fingers.
No, what I mean is like always use a different glove. Period.
Yeah, change your gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's barbers that go all day using the same
Same
glove.
gloves. Yeah, that's crazy. Like,
That makes no sense
That
because
makes none.
it's just like your hands.
Yeah.
it is. It's the same thing. You might as well
If
not.
you're
It's
working-
protecting yourself.
if you're working
It's
on
protecting
someone.
yourself. It's not
Yeah.
protecting the client.
Right.
Do you guys use gloves here?
No.
Yes.
Some of them.
Yes.
We have gloves available.
Yes, so some choose and some choose not to. Do
I
they?
recommend that.
And that's another thing.
Good.
You know, infection. You get infected and that's it. You're out for a week of work because your thumb's infected.
Yep.
Well, that's happening.
You guys have any
You
questions?
can even
on
just not using gloves, just hair splinters in general.
No.
A hair splinter could swell up more. You
Okay,
get
guys,
pus in
so-
your, and then you gotta go to
My name's
surgery just to
Justin.
get a piece of hair.
Patrick the Barber from Sanitary Plus Systems. You guys can check their page out on Instagram. And I hope you guys took a little bit from this class today and you can implement that in your guys' career.
Yes.
All right, thank you to After the Barbecue here at Chopperz Radio. So next up, we're gonna talk a little bit about business marketing, how to get yourself and what to expect once you do your hours and once you get your state board license. What to expect. So we're gonna have Macho from MVP Performance. We're gonna have Ilfil the Barber from Southside Barbershop, and my man Chef the Barber from Sharp Image Barbershop CT out in Sprott, Connecticut. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome up to the show, and let's get this topic started.
Truth, you were a owner before too, right?
Yes.
So we'll have him part of it also. So we got him. All right. Here we go.
Hey, I have a question. How do you invite this guy and not tell him to bring food? Do you see his
he
food?
brought food.
Telling him since the
Do
first
you see the
podcast.
stuff that he cooks?
He brought food. He just ate it on the way here.
Bro, you don't see that, bro? Throw it.
No, it's like a cooking channel and a barber.
We've been
all
trying
in
to
one.
get some sancocho since
Yeah,
the first
you know what?
podcast.
First time he was on the show, he said he was gonna cook for us. He definitely lied. We never got
No, I said on the show.
Yeah, I did like it.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
So where we?
Right there, it's perfect. I got the
Right
boy.
there's
Yeah.
good?
Yep.
Okay, so. Hi guys. Yeah, go ahead.
So my name is Ruben Cisneros. Instagram, Chef the Barber. Cause I'm a chef and a barber. I own a barbershop in Sprott, Connecticut called Sharp Image Barbershop LLC. And I just want to talk. We're all gonna talk about differences in like starting off small, moving up to a storefront type business, different ways you can start your own, stuff like that. But I started off small, so I have a small shop, Cozy. I started off with one chair.
Well, you got out of school. What'd you do out of school? Because now we're just jumping on.
Okay.
Did you straight own right out of school, or did you?
I straight owned out of school.
You didn't work for anybody?
I worked at a salon. It was a corporate salon. Basically, the percentage was not meant for a barber. So I kind of took my 401k money. No, not kind of. I took my 401k money and pretty much started real small, whatever I could afford. I had a barber chair already. It was one of these in white that I've used when I used to cut out in the basement. That's how it really started. When I started cutting hair, I got cut out in the basement, and I kind of grew from there. So after my first year, I added 2 stations. This is my young barber right here. He was 16 when I met you.
Vince!
Good.
16, he was 16 when I met him. Shadowed me. Now he's my brother. He's gonna be my business partner pretty much.
Did Fitz go to a technical school?
He's in a technical school. He's a senior. He's already licensed. He's a licensed barber. I think he's the first licensed barber in his high school ever.
Yeah, I got young.
And like that still attends.
Yeah, still attends. Yeah.
You're not even an adult yet, man.
I just turned 18. I'm an adult.
Oh, okay.
He didn't even hit his growth spurt yet. That's just his neck. It makes him look tall.
He's 18. You can buy cigarettes now.
But yeah, like I started off small, and
No, I'm just saying. Sorry.
a lot of people were discouraging me. They were like, "Look, if you're gonna open up a business, you gotta like do it big, nice, this and that." I started off small because I needed to make some money. We were struggling,
Yeah.
and I made a name for myself by constantly using social media, especially Facebook, all the resale pages, putting myself out there, going into all the restaurants, all the gas stations, walking around all the malls, just handing out business cards. So I did some new school stuff and some old school stuff.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth is, no matter how technological we get, it's gonna be the best type of branding your business. You guys, my barber, I average 5 to 10 new clients a day. Just because someone said I saw a haircut you did.
If you follow Chef, I think he works 8 days a week, like 16 hours a day.
And I got like 19 kids,
Yeah.
20 coming, I don't know, that I know about.
His son, he really works a lot. So he working that much, your work's gonna show somewhere. You know, because you're not gonna be at a shop that long.
You're gonna get noticed.
You're gonna get noticed. You know,
Like,
and it works.
it works for me. I'm doing great. Like, I struggled for 12 years straight. Like, me and my wife, they all know the story. 12, 13 evictions. I went through too much, and me opening up a small shop saved my life. You know, mentally, physically, financially. So yeah, like I want to say, I started off small. Now I got 3 nice stations, 3 chairs, and we're looking for a 3rd barber. Another thing, location is key. Everyone thinks if you saw where I opened up, you think I opened up in the middle of nowhere. I am the only barbershop within like 15 towns. So I don't even think 3 barbers is gonna be enough at this point because I'm making a lot of noise in that side of Connecticut. And you know, the one thing I can tell you is if there's anyone or anything that's discouraging you when you get to that level, just remove that from your life.
Take risks.
Take risks.
Take risks.
Every day I take a risk. Every single day. You know, spend money to make money.
Yeah.
Every little dime I had, I didn't ask nobody. And whatever dime I had, I invested.
You gotta invest in yourself.
Yes, I was
Invest in yourself because at the end of the day, it's gonna come back to you. You know what I'm saying?
whatever.
But smartly.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
overdoing it, but, invest
Know what you
smartly.
need and not what you want. What you
Exactly.
want will come. It's like in the beginning, I could have opened up with 3 chairs, 3 stations. I could have picked a spot and took a loan from the bank, which don't take a loan. Save up your own money and invest your money. Once you take that loan, you're already owing more than what you can chew.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like these are certain things I could tell you, certain tips of if you're ever ready to open up your own place. And then it's cool if you don't want to open up your own place and you just want to work for somebody.
It's cool
Yeah, I
to
was
work
about
for
to say
somebody
that.
too. I
It's-
mean,
it's
especially if you get along and there's good people surrounding you, and those people want to see you do good too. You know what I mean? Because you can tell by when you come in, how they talk to you, how they interact with you. Being in a barbershop is not yours. Is cool also. You know what I mean? Because you get to learn from different barbers.
Act like it's yours.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
treat it like it's yours.
I
You
believe some
represent-
sort of barbershop experience is necessary before you open your own.
Yes.
Definitely.
I agree 100%.
And I also think that it allows you to build clientele. That way, when you open your own place, you have some people to bring with you to help you sustain the new shop.
Yes.
You
Yep.
need something to help you. You don't want to open up a barbershop and not have no clients. That's not going to work out too good.
I'm not gonna.
The
It's
only
gonna be more
reason-
difficult.
And nobody knows who you are.
It might force you to quit. And you're not
That's
gonna
the
feel like-
discouraging part because there's a lot of people, including myself. So I started cutting hair when I was 13, 14. No license in Jersey. I'm from Patterson, New Jersey. And I was making a lot of money, but after a while, it's like when you slow down or like I went shop to shop to shop, I started making less money. Or in the beginning, when you're making no money. You know, like back before social media, you know how hard it was to get a client?
You can sit there
No
7 hours.
photos. You can tell people how good you are. They don't, we didn't have, the phones didn't have cameras in them. I'm making it sound like I'm from the 50s, but that's not even 20 years
You
ago.
had to hit 2 twice to get a B out of it.
Yep.
You know, like
You had to prove to
I grew up
people.
with beepers.
yeah, we did too.
I had to really prove to people that I could cut hair. And I remember going one whole year making no more than like 25 bucks a week. And that's discouraging. So what did I do? I got a real job. Like people call it a real job. KFC, punch out, you know, stuff like that. I was working hourly ever since. What made me become a barber again is when I was living in New Britain, Connecticut, a couple years ago. And a friend of mine, he knew I could cut hair. I was cutting my stepson's hair every day. And he asked me, hey, can you help me out in the shop on the weekend? So I did. And then his name is Ness. He's from owner of Finesse Cuts in Middletown, Connecticut. And basically, I fell in love with it again. And it wasn't so discouraging. Why? Because social media was there. And I used Facebook, Instagram. Oh.
Yeah.
Because he relocated to a main street by Norris Cupcakes. And dude, like as soon as I got in, shop was packed. Yeah, my boy Ness owns that shop.
Use social media to your advantage.
Everything.
Definitely use social media. Social media is free advertising. It's for everybody to see. Everybody can see.
Your phone is with you all the time.
All the time. So
Your phone is your clock, your phone, your camera, your way of talking to people, texting, anything.
promote, yes.
Social
promote.
media is free.
It's free. It's free.
But I also want to get back at so when I started working at that shop, he's the one that convinced me to go to school and get licensed. So I found a good school, Connecticut, Ace Cosmetology and Barber Trade Center. It took me 2 years to graduate. I was cutting out of my basement. I was cutting a lot of people because my stepson, he was very popular in Bristol, Connecticut.
It was advertising for you.
Walking advertising. Everyone was like, "Where did you get that cut?" So I did my chef job in the day. I went to school in the morning. I did my chef job during the day towards night, and I will cut hair from 8 o'clock and at night to sometimes 5 in the morning. 2 hours of sleep, go to school. That's what I did for 2 years. 7 days a week most of the time.
You have to do it.
Like you gotta grind. Like in this profession, you're only gonna get what you put in.
Yep.
So if you go and work at a shop, and let's say you're like, I only feel like working 4 hours today, or let's say you were there and you were dead and you just decide to leave. Don't leave because you gotta build yourself up. And like
You never
I said,
know who's gonna walk in.
Some person might walk in through that door.
The minute you
and
leave,
change your day because that person might, you cut him up, he feel good about himself, now he tell his cousin, now he tell his uncle, now he tell his
Co-worker.
his co-worker, and that's how you build.
If you feel comfortable in a location, you gotta stay there. You should stay there and try to build. You don't always have to be somewhere that it's nothing but busy clientele come in. You can build your own clients, even if the place isn't busy.
Correct.
A lot of students are misled by busy barbershops. I said, listen, just because a barbershop is busy and you see a lot of people sitting down doesn't mean they're gonna go with you. They're probably waiting for barbers that don't go by appointments and they allow 4 or 5 of their customers to wait for them. So that just because the barbershop looks busy doesn't mean you're gonna be busy.
it's not always green on the other side.
my barber seen it from, I should say my brother, seen it firsthand.
His son.
My son, that's my 26th son. I got a lot of kids. I love them all. But there's times I'm begging people to go to him. Like he's good, he can cut. I'll put him next to some of the best barbers that I know, and not because I want him to compete like that. Just he's good, and they still like. I tell him in my shop we don't put like barber posters. We hang up our own pictures. I frame them. I blow them up and I frame our pictures like that we on Instagram.
Don't use that word here.
What?
You gotta activate Phil, man, on that. Ladies and gentlemen.
I enlarge my pictures at Walmart and we frame them nice. And this is a great way of advertisement. Not using just your iPhone pics. Invest in a nice little camera or something. Take some nice pics, learn how to edit a little bit, and make it look magazine quality. And that right there is gonna catch the eye. That's gonna help you too. But yeah, like we do stuff like that, but I beg people. There be 10 people waiting for me. And they're not even appointments. Like I do mostly walk-ins, it works for me. And I'm like, please go to Fitz. He's like, I even tell him he's better than me. And they will not go there. But now he's starting to build his clientele. He's been with me for a year. and he's everything I'm talking about. He's seen it firsthand. You know, I used to tell him like, bro, don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. Surround yourself with people who are gonna do that for you.
But
That means they care about you.
That's almost like what he was saying. Like, you finish school, sit in the shop, work under somebody because you get to see.
But work under someone who's gonna make you better.
Yeah.
That's a great quality. You don't want to go to a shop where the owner is going to be taking all the customers.
Yeah.
You want an owner to help you grow.
You don't want to go
And
somewhere
always,
where,
and always giving you negative feed, negative
regardless,
feed.
you go somewhere and they're like, yeah, you owe $200 a week. Up the rest is up
They
to
just
you.
want your rent.
They just want your rent. Of
You're not
course.
gonna get better. Work
You're not,
somewhere that
so.
you're gonna grow. You're gonna
You
grow. It's not hard, like the one thing I tell people. I get this question a lot because a lot of people know the struggle I went through and where I'm at today and where I'm going. The one question I get a lot is like, oh, I forgot it. It was right in my head. I just had a brain for it. Wow.
Besides the temples. There you go.
He ain't had his White Castles
I
yet.
just
That's
had
what
a
it is.
freaking brain for it and it was just a good. Never mind. Well, anyway, like just go to a place that's gonna help you grow and get better as a barber, as a person, stylist, whatever, individual. So someone that you're gonna surround yourself and you can say, I trust that person. That's family. Like right now, I'm not building a team. I'm building family. We got a third station. It's just sitting there. I turned down at least 40 people since I put that station. You know, and
Like barbers or
barbers, yeah.
why?
Because
You can see it's not.
you can tell the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to have a good,
Good core.
cohesive core.
You
You
gotta
want a
have
good core. You want a
You
family.
gotta turn it. Yeah, you have to turn like you
You
guys
guys
here.
boy Dino too, right?
You probably just met her or her. You probably really don't know each other in the past week or so. But as you guys keep working together and helping each other out, it becomes like a family. Next thing you know, you might work at so-and-so's across the street and be like, hey, I know somebody, and then you might come along. Next thing you know, you guys are like a real team, like a family, and are able to do what you want to do.
say one thing to them. I live in Connecticut now. I'm a barber in Connecticut now, but I'm a barber here, and I'm from the Bronx, New York. So I relate more to you and what you guys are gonna expect here in New York. So first, I came from Puerto Rico, and I had a little problem transferring my license from Puerto Rico to New York. I met a guy who actually, he's a teacher at Long Island Barber Institute, and he was able to help me through that process. Now, working here, and when you get once you do your hours, you pass that state point, you get your license, try not to just jump into any barbershops out here, because I know how New York is and the environment of barbershops that are out here. Most of them are pretty negative, just because everything, it's basically hood. You know, I worked in barbershops, and I've been in barbershops where I'm cutting the client's hair, and I could have a kid in the chair, and somebody's getting stabbed right behind me. You don't want to get into that environment. You want to get into a nice barbershop. I worked in the city. I worked in 23rd Service. Shout outs to Sam over at Man Man's Barbershop, and I grew with him. I learned a lot with that dude. So exactly what they're saying, get into a barbershop where they're going to help you grow as a barber. You're going to learn along the way too. I learned a lot with him. With him, I was slow. I was slow as a barber. I didn't know what speed was. Doing 15, 20-minute haircuts and doing them at a perfection, but I learned with him, and I learned my speed with that guy, but I grew with him. I was in a nice environment. Also, those clients are the ones that pay. You don't want to you do quality work and you're only charging 15, 20 bucks. There are clients willing to pay $40, $55, $60 for a haircut. Don't undervalue yourself
Don't
at
be
all.
afraid to charge for your work.
Yes.
Especially you as students, your work is worth more because you went to the school.
Yes. Also, as barbers,
You have to pay the school back.
take advantage of all the barber expos, take advantage of all the seminars, take advantage of all that, because that's gonna help you grow as a barber as well. You're gonna learn more. This is something that, see, I look up to this young generation now. I'm old. I've been 26 years in this industry. So I come from an era where we were doing fades a different way and all that, but things that are happening now, like
We didn't have
A-Rod.
razors back then.
now we
We didn't use the razors to move.
Gillette.
Exactly. But you got dudes like A-Rod. You got dudes like these young cats are like just doing crazy things and new creations and new styles. And it's stuff that you have to keep up with as a barber. So every year we're learning something new. This is constantly a learning industry. We're always learning something. You're never gonna stop learning. So you're gonna gonna get to a certain age and you think things are gonna be the same, it's not. You're gonna continue to learn. So take advantage of the seminar. Go to every seminar there is, every barber expo. Network with the guys there. Just keep learning. You know, that's just my advice to y'all as barbers or cosmetologists.
How many of you like on your own time YouTube haircuts? Who's like your favorite guy on YouTube? You just look up how to fade out.
Exactly, yeah.
Do that all the time. Like when you're at home at night or whatever, and you got free time, just YouTube a haircut tutorial. Like this is I still do that. Sometimes I watch the same video over and over and over and over, you know, because sometimes I'm like I like to pick myself. Sometimes, and there's another philosophy I go by too. Let's say I cut the same guy, and I cut him 10 times, or once a week, 10 weeks, I cut him 10 times. Every single haircut I want it to come out even better. I gotta find something that's gonna make the haircut better. Whatever it is. I just drive myself crazy like that. And the reason I do that is because sometimes I do get bored. Like when I'm at the shop and I'm cutting 15, 20 people straight, let's say all of them got the same haircut, the same fade. I do each fade different. I use a different machine. I use a different technique. Learn more techniques. Don't just worry about guards. These are things that are just gonna make you better. They're gonna make you grow.
Proper technique.
Okay, so remember that brain fart I had? I think I had it again. People ask me what's the hardest part about being a barber. It's not cutting hair, that's the easiest part. Because you can learn it. I taught people how to cut hair in a day. And honestly, I'm really good at teaching. You can actually know what I'm talking about. I'm not like truth here. Okay, I put you on the spot. I really put you on the spot.
You got me.
No, the hardest part about this is just staying on your toes, knowing every day, just trying to figure out what's new in the industry, and getting licensed. That's the hardest part. The rest should be fun. Once you're licensed, like everyone here said, you find a place that's good for you. Shop around though. Don't just go just because a shop where I'm at, everyone brags about these shops in certain towns. Yo, they're always packed. Yeah, but they're probably charging $5. They're probably charging $10 haircut. They do it every day. I don't mention because that's them. If that works for them, that's fine. But that's not me. I know my worth. And the hardest part is just getting licensed, taking that test. Okay, so they were telling me you guys do 500 what hours? 500.
You know what?
That's really study because that state board is not easy. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. I had 1,500 and I still wasn't ready. And I use apps to memorize all the questions. There's literally thousands of questions, and they give you 100 something. You fail that test, you get a whole new other test. You fail that test, you get a whole new other test. You don't get the same test. You take it 10, 15 times.
You take different tests.
Yeah. So
Trust me, I took a lot of them.
So right now, really, do you, in your kits, you got books and stuff, and a book with all the questions. Take advantage right now.
You have to say it's only practical. There's no theoretical part of the exam.
Oh, really?
It's all practice.
So
What?
yeah, right. They're thinking about changing it.
Okay, so sorry, I didn't.
Not fair.
See?
Yeah,
Yeah, we put us in the spot. You see? Did it on purpose.
I have something to say.
A lot of people take the exam here and they transfer the license to a different state.
Oh.
Yeah, that was Colorado, California.
Well, that's almost like what Brian did.
Yeah.
He had his license here and he just transferred it to Connecticut.
Yes, yes.
So I have something. You have 510 hours, right? I watch Truth's videos. He's always posting. He'll take a balloon with you guys and show you the razor. He'll show you on a mannequin how to use the razor, and sometimes the person doing it's stabbing the mannequin. When he tells you, stop, wait, he'll show you again. He's really teaching you. You have to pay attention to what he's showing you because the techniques he's using is really what you're going to be using in real life. It's the way you got to do it. So whatever he teaches you, really pay attention, and then you transfer it onto the real world, people that come in.
So
The learning should never stop.
What Fitz is doing with Chef is exactly what Truth is doing with you guys.
I learned some stuff from him. He taught me how to do a flat top of the military on Not like African American.
Like a G.I. Joe flat top?
Like he taught me a good way, like a really good, easy way to do it. And ever since then, I'm doing them like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
right,
the same thing. Give me some.
I didn't know that. You see, even my son,
Hey,
my son.
I told you guys about the
And
hairspray.
you gotta
Teaches
me.
Trying to learn your tools. Learn the tools that you
spray it and you blow dry.
learning how to clean them like they were saying, but learn them as you use them, what works best for you. Try to have somebody, modify it to your liking and all that. That's also important because it's gonna cut the time shorter in cutting hair. Even though at the beginning you don't
Don't
want
worry
that,
about speed at the
you know what I
beginning.
mean? But
Don't worry.
That is gonna develop. That comes.
eventually you're gonna need that.
Truth, how long do they usually take on a haircut?
Some of them can do a haircut probably in 15, 20 minutes. Some of them they do in 2 hours.
Yeah. So don't. The people that take 2 hours, don't get discouraged.
It's a process.
Yeah,
Just
you're
know
learning. If you're taking that long, most likely you're either nervous or you're just really trying to get it right. That's okay. You're gonna get faster. And
One of the things I
see.
tell them is not to give up. You can't give up because it's a slow
I almost
process.
did. It would have been the worst decision of my life.
Yeah, so
Barbering saved my life.
It's a slow process to learn. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to learn, so you can't give up right away.
And this is what I was told when I was in school. While you're in school, you're allowed to mess up. Don't be afraid to mess up. You're in school. You're in
This is
here.
what I tell them.
You gotta
This is
learn
what
from
I
your
do.
mistakes because what if you out there and you mess up? Truth is not gonna be there to help you finish that haircut.
While you're here, ask
You're gonna try
questions.
something? Try
You know
it
what I
now.
used to do to cocky barbers when I started
Get comfortable
teaching?
with it now.
When I used to do the cocky barber, because I used to be cocky until somebody humbled me. I would walk up, they'll be in the school, because I started teaching in the same school that I went to, just another location in Hartford. And you got these cocky barbers just talk, you just hear the stuff. I would walk up with a clipper, fix that. And I'll just walk away. And they'll just be there like,
what?
yeah, I did that in Hartford. And they'll be like, whoa. And I'm like, all right, listen now, you don't know it all. I don't know it all. No one knows it all. If
Every
there's
day
a
you
barber,
work.
God, he doesn't know it all.
Yep.
So I
You
walk
learn
by
every
and I
day.
teach him. To this day, he DMs me all the time. How do I do this? How do I do that? And he's gotten so much better. That's what I mean. Don't be afraid of
Still
mess
learning
up.
every day.
And if somebody messes up and true, like let's say you're not doing nothing, and if somebody messes up and he helps that person, go by and see what he's doing. Like just no matter
if
no
he's
matter
cutting
what.
and you're not doing anything, watch him. Watch him. Or if he's
Learn.
helping somebody, get up and watch him if you're not doing
And
something.
that's the thing, even if
Different
you get
haircuts, too.
even if you get to another level, even as an educator or a platform artist or whatever you do, you always observe the other educators. See if you can learn something from them.
From them, yeah.
You can always learn no matter what level you're on. I'm a teacher and all the things that I do, but I still watch other people. I still watch videos. I'm looking at what people are doing. You can always learn something.
Keeping up to date, and if they doing different haircuts, different styles, try to go and see what he's doing. Don't stay stuck on trying to learn one haircut. Go see what he's doing, what kind of hairstyle he's doing. Go to another one, see what he's doing. Even if it's a female, because you're gonna get females that come in barbershops also, or males that go into salons. You know what I mean? So try to learn different hairstyles.
There's
Or
barbers who learn.
see volunteer. They just run. They like.
Yeah, they just run.
There's some barbers who learn and they shut down after a certain amount of knowledge. They don't want to learn anything else because they feel like they know it all.
They're contempt.
Everybody wants to be the
That's when you
nicest
stop
fader.
Right.
Everybody, but if someone walked into, what's your name? Huh? Mary?
Mary?
If someone said right now, I just want a regular haircut, like what would you say? This is where we go back to the basics, right? Client consultation. You just talk through. Hey, so what are we looking at? Half off? You want the same thing but just a little shorter? You gotta learn because talking to your client is
That could be anything.
It's key.
It's key. That's how I get
And
myself.
you get a lot of doubt off. You know what I'm saying?
You want to make them feel comfortable. Like you're.
But that's what I mean. Like a lot of people that they get frozen like you just did right now.
Yeah.
And like
You'll learn.
you're gonna get through that.
Yeah.
But like what I'm trying to say is like
Practice it here. Someone comes in. Do you teach client consultation here? Yeah.
I see it all the time today.
That's like you go in a tattoo shop and say, how much is the tattoo
Hey,
Regular haircuts could be anything.
That's a good point right there. I like that.
You know, some people might say things like, I just want a trim. By the time I'm done, I get like 9 trims. No, you want a real haircut, you know, stuff like that.
Nah, yeah, you walk your way through the haircut with the client, you know? And based on what he's trying to get or accomplish with there, and you're going to do it for him, you know what I'm saying? But ask questions, don't just get in.
One of the best strategies for your consultation to add to it as an addition is not only to get the information from the client on what they want, but also let them know what services you offer. Like I specialize in hot towel shaves, I do facials, I do black and that's feel. You know, first timers, you gotta let them know everything you do that way. They can they'll understand what you offer as a professional.
Yeah, they might be like, I never had a hot towel shave. I never had that. Like when I do skin fades on some people, like I never really had it to the skin. I'm like, try it. It's a cleaner look. It lasts. One thing they want to hear, it lasts longer. They want to hear that because they'll be like, oh, so I don't have to come back in 2 weeks. I come back in 3. You know, because at the end of the day, you know, when they come back doesn't matter because you're always still trying to build your clientele. It don't matter. I got people that come to me twice a year. You know, and they won't go anywhere else.
But that's you're the one they go to.
Exactly.
If you do a solid skin fade, and people in your area are struggling with skin fades, you're gonna stand out from other people.
But then there's people who want a regular haircut and no one knows how to do it. Because that's the one thing when, like, especially when you're not in a school and you're not getting taught the basics. That's the problem. There's a lot of barbers that they're nasty with skin fades, but they never were taught the basics. Some people, there's a lot of people that just want a regular haircut. I wish I could do those all day. I'll do 40 a day. 40 regular, 50 regular haircuts a day. They're 10-minute haircuts, you know. But there's a lot of barbers. Ask them if they know how to do shear work. How many times you get that? Yep. Yes.
How do you deal with people who says it's not enough? I want shorter. It's like a twice job.
Repeat that. I'm sorry. I want to get it right.
The people who says the client who says I want a piece short, and then when you finish, he says I want a shorter.
Oh, she's asking like.
Oh, you like the 2 haircuts?
Yeah.
First couple times.
That's a good question.
This is why client consultation is important. First couple times, I'll let you off the hook because I got, especially if I want you coming back, I gotta know what you want. So first 2-3 times, I'll deal with it. But I'm usually 2 times, but for them 3-4 times.
If it's more than that,
you gotta get used to it. Yeah. But if it's more than that, you just charge a little extra. You charge for 2
because
haircuts.
at the beginning, you asked him what he wanted. You sat down with him, you made sure that that's what he wanted. So you gave him what he wanted. Now after that, it's like, you told me this is what you wanted, and now I'm
so
trying to give you another haircut, basically.
If that person changed their mind midway through their haircut, that's pretty much on them. Like he said, the first 2 times, do it, change it for them. After that,
If you see that it becomes a habit, remember one thing. This is when you really gotta value yourself. Don't ever put yourself down and think you gotta tolerate things if it happens all the time. It's like Marvy Marv always says, you can fire clients. People gotta, because you're spending all this time, energy, money, and going to school, getting better. You know, you're trying your best, and you're investing in yourself. You know, you're not gonna get time back.
What you could also do at the beginning, like say Fitz wanted a haircut, and he says, I want a number 6 on top. So you take the number 6 card, you go over the top, you face him in the mirror, you say, like this?
Yeah.
And he should agree or disagree. If you feel like he's like, prepare yourself, you might have to change it. But if he agrees, then you go on with your haircut, and then you finish, everything's okay. If he asks you at the end, and you take it down a little bit, and you feel like, usually after like the 2nd time, you definitely have to charge. You have to charge.
You did
everything you did and what he said, especially if he agreed, then yeah, that's
they have to respect you.
You're gonna get bullied. You're gonna get bullied.
Some people are gonna test you. Some people want to go to the most vulnerable. I'm not gonna say weak, but most vulnerable, nicest barber. They probably could like, cause they think they could do it to me. I don't play that. I taught him that too. They did it to him. They did it to him a few times.
Try to talk you down.
Or
try to get their haircut cheaper.
Cheaper, yeah.
Or try to get it for free.
That's like the ultimate
because they're gonna come and
Yeah.
tell you that you don't know what you're doing, but when you get out of here, you do know what you're doing.
You're a professional.
You went
You're
to
a
school.
professional. You have your
You know,
license.
you pay for your tools. You pay for school.
You
You have to get your money
supposed to
back.
educate the
Yep.
customer.
There's students who leave school, they graduate school, and they tell me that the owners have them sweeping instead of cutting hair. And I'm like, these are shops that you should leave. As soon as you go to a shop, they should have you cutting.
Cutting.
And
That's
I'll-
why I said when you go shop to shop, not like work, but like this is why you have to shop where you're gonna work. You have to go different places, like buying a car, buying a house. You're not gonna just pick the first one you choose. You know, you write down a list and you write down your pros and cons of every location you went to, and see, and then really have a conversation with the owner that day. Have a conversation with their barber, see where they're at, where their mindset's at, see if they're happy. Sometimes you could just walk in a place and everyone's just mad. No one's talking to each other. You go to my shop, we having a blast all day. With either the barbers or the clients or both. We're having a blast.
Play it, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, like we just love having fun. We like that fun.
Hey, boom, boom, boom.
It's a song.
It's our theme
It's
song.
a song. You see,
It's our theme
poor
song.
choice of words.
Is that those kids that come in, you know?
No,
boom,
but like
boom,
when
boom?
Yep.
like even while you're in school, like go present yourself and talk to these owners and say, look, I'm in school. I just want to check out your place. Can I shadow this for an hour or two? You know, the ones that say no, honestly, you don't even want to be there because right there, they don't even want. You could tell they don't want you to grow because you're like, dude, I want to shadow you. Maybe you can help me grow. Maybe I can be part of your business. You know, maybe I can, be an asset. You want to be an asset, But if they say no right away, don't bother. I get that all the time. You know how many people hit my DM up all the time? Hey, can I shadow you? Yeah. But do they?
They don't come though.
Most people don't come. But that's what I mean. Like, be that person that goes on your own time voluntarily. Why? Because when you start getting paid, it's gonna, you already got the basically the whatever you're practicing. You're already bringing that over. That's part of your work ethic. Like just be that person. Like that's to me the best way of finding a place where you're gonna be happy for a while before you ever think about opening your own spot if you want. But yeah, like build relationships.
Does anyone have questions?
Even the shops that you don't choose to work in, still be friendly with them too. Never be a hater. Never be a negative barber or stylist or whatever you end up being.
One day you might have your own shop and take somebody from that barber shop and come work with you because they felt
Take is
the
a bad
energy
word.
from you.
Them,
Did not take.
them voluntarily coming over.
There you go. But if they felt the energy of you being there before and you guys are now friends, like, it can happen. So.
You guys ever work like a 9 to 5? You just hate your job because of the people you work with? You don't want that in a barbershop.
I love my job.
It's not a job to me. It's not.
It's a hobby, it's a talent, and I love what I do.
Just make sure that this is what you want to do.
Yeah, make sure this is what you want to do.
Because if it's not what you want to do, your day's going to be long.
So.
Very long.
You have to have love for this business.
Yes.
If you don't have love, it's just like being a chef. You're not gonna be good. You're not making your food with love. For you to be a barber, you have to have love for the profession.
That's
With
the secret.
anything,
If you don't do it
I'm
just
Puerto
for the
Rican. I
money,
make my food with love.
You're a teacher at a school. You're not
What's-
gonna be a good
what's
teacher if
something
you don't like
that
teaching young kids.
you guys have done when you found yourself a little not motivated or you find yourself a little bored at work? What's one way you do to get yourself that motivation and to re-light that fire under you?
Me personally, I try to do things different. Every time around, like you were saying earlier. Try to do things different. I challenge myself just to see how it come out, what I could do better. And sometimes you need a downtime. So you could be like, I'm not really doing nothing. I'm not making no money. Let me get to work. Let me do what I do. And that's how. That's me personally. You know what I'm saying?
Like I got a perfect example of that. Like I was really bored for some reason, and I was busy and I was still bored. So I told myself I haven't used. You guys know what detachable clippers are? You know what they are, right? I said that instead of guards use metal things as clippers. I haven't used that since I was 13. So I said all week I'm gonna fade only with detachable clippers. I don't do it anymore, but like I was bored, and I challenged myself. And there was times where I'm like, oh my god, I'm messing up. I'm messing up, and then I find a way out. Right with the client, I'll be like, excuse me. I go outside with my phone, my everything. Access to YouTube, how to fade with detachable clippers, and I went back in, and I'm like, all right, so I'm using the blades in the wrong sequence, you know. So I finished the cut, but I was doing that for a week, 2 weeks straight, you know, not touching my other clippers. But like that's how I get. That's just an example of when I get bored. That's the stuff I do. And again, just watch videos. Now this comes from my chef job. I was always told if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. So if you ain't got no clients, keep it at the shop. Don't wait till an owner tells you. Why? That's gonna separate you from everybody else in the shop. He's gonna be like,
wipe the chair down.
I'll never forget the first time I walked in, and I got 2 stories. One time I walked in, he's polishing the bottom of my chair. And then one day, on a Sunday, I wasn't gonna open.
It was your birthday.
That was my birthday, but that was Sunday. I was gonna come in and just clean the shop. And he told me the day ahead that he had stuff to do that day. I didn't care, so I was gonna come in and clean. And he was mad I was there. He was cleaning to surprise me. I'm not trying to hype him up, because when he messes up, I check him too.
I try to teach my young guy that.
But like separate yourself. Like, don't ever think that you're too good to clean the toilet. So that's like my thing. Like when people be like, "Oh, can I rent that chair for me?" The one question I ask, "Would you clean the toilet?"
Yeah.
Smells like steak.
It's because it's yours too. You're gonna be there all day.
Sure. I don't. There's a lot of shops that hire cleaning lady. No. Why are we gonna hire people for things that we can do on our downtime? You know, like like you might not think of it, but these are things that are gonna make you more successful because it's gonna build discipline in you. You gotta be very disciplined. It's not just cutting hair. People think barbering is just cutting hair. That's like probably a small aspect. But that's all I had to say.
Into getting into your own shop also.
Is there anything you want to say before we wrap this segment up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wanted to make an announcement that I wanted to save for the podcast. I actually wanted to announce it on Friday, but I decided to wait.
Hey, major announcement.
Major announcement.
Key alert. Key alert.
Alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we just finished
We're not wrapping up. We still got a few minutes left of the show. But we're wrapping this part up. There's going to be one more topic that we pretty much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's watching live right now on YouTube. We just finished wrapping it up with Chef the Barber, Macho, MVP Performance, Ilfil the Barber, and Truth the Barber artist here talking about business, barbershop, talk, marketing, tips for the barbers, what to look forward to after they graduate from getting a license and state board. So right now we want to shout out our sponsors. We're going to shout out Keno Matt Clay. Make sure to pick that up at kenothebarber.com. Shout outs to Gavo. You can get that at Gavo, Julio_Gavo. You can get your orders in there. Shout outs to Southside Barbershop. They're over at 463 Franklin Avenue, Hartford, Connecticut. Shout outs to Tribeca Barber and Beauty School here in Regal Park, Queens. They're located at 9566. Regal Park, New York, 11374. Shout outs to Kennedy's Barber Club. You can come see me there and my staff at 66 Memorial Road, West Hartford, Connecticut for the best and finer men's grooming. So shout outs to that. Next up,
MVP Barbershop.
Shout outs to MVP, yes, 1978 Park Street. Hartford, Connecticut as well. Go check out Macho, Jem Jordan, and Keno the Barber there. Awesome barbers there, man. So shout outs to that. You can also next up, as a matter of fact, we got kenothebarber.com, and he's gonna be demonstrating on one of our sponsors. So that's gonna be cool. He's doing a freestyle design here for the students. So that's gonna be cool. He's gonna be explaining the techniques that he's using. So shout outs to Keno for that. Keno, where you at, man?
So before we do this,
we got a major announcement from Truth the Barber artist.
Key alert. All right, so here we go, Truth. Go ahead, man.
Stage is yours.
Stage is yours.
All right, so in the last few months, I've been working on getting back to a certain point in my career, and I just found out on Thursday that I was just reinstated as a New York State barber examiner once again.
Nice.
Congratulations!
Yeah. Big dog in New York.
Big booms, man.
So you will be seeing me at the New York State exams every two Tuesdays that they do the exams.
Great. So, hey, you're still going to have to see him even after you leave school over here. You got to report to this guy. Hey, congratulations, Truth, man.
Yes, sir.
Everybody put it together for Truth, man. Nice.
You're gonna stay forward. You're gonna see Truth over there watching you. Are they still doing the 14 steps of shapes here?
Oh yeah, they do 14
man.
steps. And I'm gonna be watching.
So get ready for that. So now we got Kino the barber with Gavo Julio. He's gonna be demonstrating a freestyle design.
I would hope to get
You guys
to that
got
level one day.
you guys got the exclusive.
Yeah, man. That's what's up.
You know, this is your phone, right? So I'm gonna get good angles.
New York State official?
We just gonna go
State
to,
examiner.
the same thing that they were talking about. First of all, we
That's awesome.
make sure the tip is not touching the mat. And I see a lot of barbers. Sometimes they tie this. I don't like it because sometimes if the tip still touches the neck, you don't want that to happen. So what I do.
Talk a little bit louder, Kino.
So what I do,
There we go.
go over it like this.
Hey, you guys all out today, or you gonna be around?
And
Probably be around for a little bit.
what you want to do,
My first test is tomorrow. If you guys wanna come by and check it out.
tomorrow Tuesday, after that, so always talk to the
All day, every day.
what we like to get today. All right. So that's easy. So we first gonna start pool care. Sanitation is the key.
Key, major key alert.
Always spray your blade anything you have front of the client.
Tírale algo ahí, Brian.
Oh, you recording me.
I don't have it here, but I always
Shout outs,
keep
man.
my-
Tune into his Chopperz Radio, man. Shout outs to MVP Barbershop out in 1978, Park Street, Hartford, Connecticut. You already got Macho in the building. We got Kino. Shout outs to John Jordan, who's not here right now. Shout outs to Dope Barber. He got some great work. So if you're on Park Street, man, go check those dudes out, man.
With a fade,
Thank you, man.
design. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the number one with the fade, and I'm gonna do a Versace design. So you guys, if you, yeah. If you want, you could
Boy, Kino about to go in on him.
and here we go.
Any questions you guys have along the process,
Jordan, what
please
up,
ask
man?
him. He's able to answer.
Is your clipper open or closed right now?
Close all the way. The reason why this is
That's a one.
like, for example, sometimes a lot of people ask me for number 3 with a fade. The thing I do to make fade easier and faster, I start with a number 3 on top, then I do a 1.5 on the side. That way I don't have to do 3, 2, 1, 0. I just start from 1.5, 1, half, 0. That's it. It's easier, faster. So always with the lever up, all the way up.
So that's number one, right?
This is a number 1.
Close, right?
Close.
Close. Basically, in New York, that's a Caesar.
Yeah, they this type of hair is coarse hair, so they usually use a lower guard.
Horse gear?
Course.
Excuse me, my language. I mean,
You got it right, weren't you? Duh, ponytails.
you
So you
always
start
want to go follow the hair stream.
You're going against the grain.
Yes. That's another thing you want to ask. A lot of people want the wave cut with much, and I'm like, yeah.
Tell you what though, if you go the same direction he's going with a 3.5 clip, you still keep the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
You
whole
won't kill the
you
weight.
just gotta go with the grain is a myth.
It is.
You gotta
It is.
Yep.
So we got
So if you had waves,
side.
you put a 3 clip all the way up. Went in this direction, you would still have waves. Anything under a 3 will start straightening out the hair like this. And you won't see it.
Right now, I use the number 1 guard, which is this one. Now I'm gonna use the 1.5.
The Kino guard. Make sure you tell him.
Kino.
He has his own guards.
That way, when I do the design, this side is a lot lower than the top. It makes the design a little bit better and easier to do.
Different clipper companies have different guard
And
systems.
that's another thing.
So you gotta learn the guard system.
I go almost like halfway only, not all the way, just halfway. Just go in here.
Barber right now demonstrating live freestyle design.
Heavy leg, bro.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but what I do, I picture the design first. Like, just to measure it. And here, the Versace design. And I actually start with just two lines.
MVP 9814.
I don't know.
Follow Truth the Barber. Macho. Macho, what's your?
Not all the way through.
Macho 9814
All the
MVP.
way. But I'm just doing like almost.
The Tribeca School. What's the Tribeca?
Follow Jim Jordan.
Jim Jordan. The guy who fix any machine.
I can do the line right here. Not gonna be able to all the people see it from far. So
Shout out to Socks.
do like
Because Macho doesn't have any on right now.
I do got socks.
see how big it is. So now is what I was teaching my son how to do is the L. One L going this way, the other L going that way. But I'll show you one.
Like the letter L?
Yes.
Okay.
It looks
Okay.
like a hard design, but then after a while you go with it. You always want to leave space.
If you need to get up to see, you can. You get closer.
Yeah, you have to get closer.
Get as close as you want.
You can get closer if you want.
Pull up your chairs.
Get that 3D vision. Or that 4K vision.
When you're doing designs like this, it's all about having clean,
Yeah.
even lines. You don't want one line fatter than the other or skinnier than the
So
other.
now, like you see, the L is right here. So now he's gonna take one.
But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we got this dude back there with halal food making me hungry.
Is that what that smell is?
That's that white sauce, man. That's that white sauce.
Smelling good.
Shout out, though. I hear Chopperz Radio. We live here in New York, man. We got Kino the Barber, Kino the Barber right now doing a freestyle Versace design on Gavo. Shout out to Gavo, man. If you need some apparel, we have it available here. Also, you could go to his Instagram, Julio_Gavo, and get your orders in. Right now, he got the Barber limited edition hats, that hat, snapbacks. So check that out, man. Pulpo.
After that,
Got
it's
the
just
pulpo in here,
the
baby.
design.
Pulpo.
So what I do,
What kind
see
of
the,
design is that?
it's called the it's called the Versace.
The
design
Versace.
because of the way it is. But what I do, so people can see a lot better, more, I just fade the bottom.
Shout outs to the CT Barber Expo, man. Hair Chopperz Radio will be in booth 1110 alongside Southside Barbershop MVP. Chef the Barber will be there too. We are all actually competing in the freestyle category, traditional, fastest fade. We also gonna have in-booth barber battle, Ill Phil versus CT_Adrian Baker. I'm definitely not a judge in that. I don't want to be a part of that. I'm just gonna watch, man, because they two great faders. That's gonna be crazy. So shout outs to Jay Majors out in CT Barber with the CT Barber Expo out in the convention center out there in Hartford. Again, booth 1110. We're gonna have merchandise. We're gonna drop Hair Chopperz pre-shave oil, Hair Chopperz beard oil, and we're gonna drop some apparel alongside with both as well. So shout outs to that, man. Shout out all the barbers that are hustling out there on a Monday. We live in New York, maybe we here. Stay tuned to the videos we did yesterday in Times Square too. We got Truth the Barber artist in the building. Make sure to follow his Instagram.
Congrats to Truth.
Congrats, he just became
New York
examiner. Examiner. Shout outs to that, man.
That means you better come with it.
That means I'm gonna get my New York license again. I'm gonna see him.
He's the plug. Straight plug.
He's the plug. That's the plug.
Plug.
For real, it is.
Yeah. So we got
Kino.
Kino right now is demonstrating a live freestyle Versace design on the
So
boat.
it's the network. You never know who you meet.
Yeah, man. That's what's
It
very
is.
important. It's very important to go to the Barber
networking
Expo
and
because this is where you network. You
I
guys
get
want
new people
sponsorship
everywhere.
and stuff like that, man. Barber Expo is the place to do it.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, how you move.
Right now we're just freestyling it.
So one of the best techniques to learn how to do designs, I always show my students is, you're probably gonna laugh, but when I was practicing how to do designs, I used to use talcum powder.
Yes, that's a perfect.
And I would
Does it
take
dry
the
the
trimmer.
scalp?
I wouldn't turn on the trimmer. I would leave it off, and I would just try to manipulate the powder in the ways that I was trying to shape it. And it was helping me to get the eye-hand coordination, control, and it's a challenge even for barbers that are experienced. If you try it, it's not easy to do a
because
design on powder.
if you touch the powder a little bit too much, you mess it up.
Exactly.
Right? So it's the same thing with hair. If you overly push down on your clipper, you lose the hair. You can't put the hair back. It's not like the powder. So once you...
Alright, so I have a different technique, which I learned this in Puerto Rico. And one of my professors was actually the one who taught me how to do designs on heads. So one of the...
Professor X? From X-Men?
Yeah, from Captain Marvel, man. So one of the techniques we used was, you could use a Sharpie on somebody's head and draw it out.
Draw it out first.
Draw it out first. It comes off with alcohol. Once you put the alcohol on, it comes right off. But you're able to use the and follow the lines that you're gonna carve out. Or if you're doing portraits or anything like that, you're able to do it with the Sharpie and then just.
But
don't use the razor first, because actually, obviously, alcohol is gonna sting his skin, and it might irritate it. So you might want to just do the trimmer first, use alcohol, and then go along with the blade.
But if you can't find the model, then the powder is the next best option.
Yep.
And sometimes it's hard to find somebody who's gonna let you call them up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very hard to find design customers.
Using powder with the trimmer.
Shout out to GT Cuts and Barber Lowe's, man. I don't know how you get design customers every day, man, but you're doing this every day.
I get
every day.
Not every 6 months.
You might just get a line there, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Color.
Color, and then you design.
Brian, you ever use the graph edge?
I do use graph edge. I just did two recent videos and 2 recent photos with graph edge. So shout outs to Linda Eisner. Shout out to those pencils are awesome, man.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I like the graph edge ones, man. They're really dope.
I feel like when another company tries to duplicate it,
I got those.
She's original. She's original. Creator.
Flipping that trimmer upside down like that.
Sometimes I even use eyeliner.
It gets a little closer, but it goes
Sometimes I use graph edge, or sometimes I will use like female eyeliner.
Right. Even if the wall too black.
So you get a
cut it out.
Yeah, it's only to design it and then cut.
But try to do it light.
That is another technique too. Another technique for designs. You could grab a white
I'm gonna go
eyeliner pencil
to the hair
and
store over here.
just draw it out and use your trimmer to follow the
Give me
lines
a
as well.
clip. You coming too?
I'm gonna have.
Give me.
So, then like I said, I was asking him if he gets any bonds.
Feel like a guinea pig.
electric shaker.
Yeah, again, shout out to our sponsors, man. Look forward to Hair Chopperz dropping their pre-shave and beard oil at the CT Color Expo. We're also gonna have apparel there. You can also get the Kino matte clay too as well at KinoTheBarber.com. Any supply you need, he has the Kino trimmer dropping soon too. You want to tune into KinoTheBarber.com. Shout out to Southside Barbershop for that. Shout out to LG Performance Barbershop as well. Chopperz Barbershop in New London, Sprott, Connecticut. Shout out to Gabo, who's in the building with us right now, at Chopperz Barber School as well, and Kennedy's Barber Club, man.
Yeah, don't be afraid to stretch the skin. Don't be afraid to.
We are live here in New York.
Really do what you need to do to get the job done. If there's an indent in someone's head and you just the clipper won't get there, stretch that skin out a little bit and then try to use the same clipper before you go to a lower guard or something like that. Take control of the client because you know what's good for the client and what's going to get the best results.
So, now I'm just gonna do this front line up, so that way when I do the fade, it just come out a lot faster. I don't have a mirror now, but make sure you always look at the mirror. The mirror will tell you so much. It's just easier. Never really had into this. This is my trimmer. It's gonna be out next month. I'm gonna have it on my website, KinoTheBarber.com, for $50. And
It's a 2-speed trimmer too.
no, the other model is 2-speed. So now we're gonna go to the fade. One thing I like to do is go right. I'm still gonna, no matter what, you're still gonna fade in. So you go all the way up. Do my first guy. I know you see the design, just don't go on top of those designs. Just try to work it and go a little bit more. Sometimes I like to go sideways. For some reason, it blends a lot faster. I don't know why, but it's always my own technique. People be like, "Why are you fading sideways?" And it helps.
comes, and you see I'm using the corners. I don't want to use the whole thing yet. The only way I do it here, but like I said, you don't use the corners. More stroke. So he did a number one on the top. So we're gonna go backwards. Guard. See how this pair is going this way? So you go all the way up again and just work this section right here. Because I don't know if you guys see it, but I do. Like the light, let me know that this is only dark right here. You see? This is the light part. I'm working my way down and up, down, up, down, up. Keep brushing, always brush.
We gotta see a line in order to remove a line.
Yep.
If you don't create a line, then there's no line to remove. It's kind of hard to see where you're at in the haircut. You're bouncing around a lot of times.
After the one,
So a lot of these are guidelines that he's setting.
we go to the half.
You set the guideline, you can easily take out that line because
Yeah.
he's already done all the work underneath it.
You always want to start like we're done. So you don't get no mistakes or anything. Okay. I don't know if you see, I'm bringing the clipper like all the way over here, not all the way on the top. And just keep going up a little bit more.
That is 1.5.
This is the half.
Oh, half. Okay.
Yeah, that's
It's already on the board. Unless you want it's got whole.
Have Fitz talk now while we cut it.
Cool. Now, instead of going up, left line, this
Kino going
What's
in
up,
on the fade,
Cowboy?
man.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
faded.
Faded. I want to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Stay up.
Faded and faded.
He's about to go to sleep pretty soon anyway.
Been up too early.
You know, I'm always down for food. I'm always down for food.
He like me.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta tell me too much.
You see my belly? Look at all the podcasts. It just sticks out.
Just using the corner of my permit.
His name.
What's his name?
What's your name? David.
David.
His name is Carl.
From Connecticut.
You from Connecticut?
Where? In the house. Should have said that before they got the Clippers. They don't got you too.
We almost did. We were looking like,
Yeah, we gotta return him though.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Yo,
When
what's
you're
it?
doing these little
Yeah.
details? You know, just to make it, especially the lines. Like before you do the next one, make the lines stand out a little bit more. You see, I'm just making them a little bit wider. The lines are clean.
Oh, did you play anything? Yeah.
The lines have nice.
Most of the balls, yes.
So,
You don't use razor?
I always ask the client due to the skin sensitivity, and in this case sometimes they get tongue, so you always want to talk to them. Is it okay for me to use the razor? So it's okay. So like see this one, so and one more time, like I said, I'm just using the corner of the clipper.
Professional.
What's that? The candy?
Looking fresh with Bo.
Yeah.
oh, yo, we should have done the Gavo design.
Oh, the octopus?
Okay, you
Do that
need to
next.
not because. What's it?
Those are the best razors in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
The Darkos?
Darko Prime.
Darkos?
I use the red ones.
I'm using a Derby Premium Titanium. Those are pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are good.
I used to use the Derbies too.
Well,
You
Primes-
talking about
Primes
the
to me
green
is where
ones?
the black ones.
I like Nike.
They hard to find though.
eBay. I do everything on eBay.
Yeah. But the thing is that sometimes when you buy them from Amazon, it come like
You gotta type in something like specific, because I ordered Dorco 5. They sent me Dorco Prime Platinum. Garbage, like bootleg razor. I had to like find those specific, and they didn't come in a package. They came in a box package, not plastic. Garbage razor.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then sometimes
they've been sitting there for so long, nobody buying. Then when you go purchase them, you get some dull ass blades. So you using like 3 or 4 on one
Ladies and
haircut.
gentlemen, be careful when you order on Amazon, eBay, and all this site, because sometimes you do get dull blades.
And
Look at the reviews.
they be sitting there for a while.
Yeah. So you don't want to. When you look at the reviews, make sure you know that it's a barber giving that review. Yeah. Not just that is a fake.
Check the rating.
Where the lines at?
No
line.
No, it will. My brand.
Oh, okay.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, Kino's gonna clean up
Using
the line with the straight
shave
razor
lotion
blade.
version from you.
CT on the map.
Shout out to the CT Barber Expo, May 19th. Here at Chopperz Radio, will be in the building, booth 1110 alongside MVP, Performance Barbershop, Kino, Ilfield the Barber, Brian the Barber. Chef is going to be in the building, T. Fitz the Barber be in the building. I think everybody's competing. We trying to get Kino in there too. Stay tuned to the in-booth friendly competition between CT_ Adrian Vega and Ilfield the Barber. I am definitely not a judge in this one, so whoever wants to judge, let me know. DM us.
I think I'm gonna be the judge.
Who
Yeah,
has
one
not been
judge,
to the
one
CT
judge
Barber
on the
Expo?
Got multiple judges.
Me,
Nah.
Are you all going?
Guys,
Oh, it's worth
CT
it.
Barber Expo?
It's not like a small hair show.
It's,
It's so.
yeah, get your
And
students.
I'm not
It's
saying
like
anything about
20,000
Connecticut. I went to all. I even went to IBS and had fun, but
May 18th, 19th, and 20th.
it's Jay
Connecticut.
Major.
Hartford, Connecticut.
And if there's one person you want to follow on
You
social
guys
media,
are
Jay
students,
Major.
You can go online.
Yeah, if you're a student, you get student tickets. If you buy multiple, they come even cheaper, I think.
It's pretty easy to get there, guys. Just usually from here, you
Pretty
hop
much,
on,
if you
I
look
think
up
it's
to the
Grand
Grand Central.
Central.
Yeah,
The
you
biggest
Take the
barber
Metro
in
North to
period.
New Haven, then hop on the CT rail line, and it takes you right to
If you
Hartford
take-
Union. You could walk from there to the convention center.
or have
Oh,
rent
from
those big shuttle
95 to 91.
Or Fitz will Uber.
Shut them down.
Fitz will Uber for you.
I just put some pressure on Truth.
There's a funny story. I made him park his
I just
truck.
put-
Oh my god, yo.
I put
He
pressure on
was
Truth.
joking around. He goes, yo, go park this
Big
truck.
industrial truck.
And I had to literally go and park the client's
I
truck.
said, yo, my barber will park it for you.
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
And the guy was like,
too.
okay, it was a big truck, bro.
Wow.
It was a big truck.
Person who runs the show.
That's crazy.
It's
But
big.
do
It's
a
big,
10.
man.
It's great. It's awesome. It's
You gotta do. You gotta
And if
try
you
it at
want,
least
the
one
10
time.
classic, the
I think
classic.
that's the next
It's a
podcast.
Super Bowl
Fitz
of hair,
parking an
yeah.
industrial truck.
They got rap artists coming and all that.
yep.
Let me
Last
put it
year,
this way. The first prize winner gets a car.
a car.
Brand new car.
An
that's
Altima.
for the-
They're giving-
2018 Altima.
They're giving away jewelry with diamonds. Like,
Yep.
Jay Major's not joking.
That's for the duplicate design. Yeah.
Man, first of all, I don't care what kind of car it is at this point, but it is like a Nissan Maxima or Altima.
No, it's awesome.
Brand new though.
It's all paid
2019.
for. All paid for.
I'll pay for everything. You just get the
Like,
keys.
don't win it and then flip it.
You
know,
win?
that's
If you win that day, you get the keys and you drive right out of there with it.
never- Sell it, get 2 Hondas.
No, he paid the taxes.
He paid everything.
He paid everything.
Yeah,
Gives you the
win it,
keys.
You just win it.
Gives you the keys and you
No,
drive
you
it
still
over.
gotta pay taxes depending on the state.
No, he paid him.
Yearly, in Connecticut.
Oh yeah, no, but he paid the taxes for that car. You're gonna have to register it.
Yeah, no, it gets yours. Like,
the title with it.
Yeah, yeah.
you win
It's
the
yours.
car.
You
Yeah.
win the
The
car.
only thing you gotta pay is insurance.
It's called for, if you look up CT Barber Expo, it's Connecticut Barber Expo on Instagram.
They'll
And
probably
just
have
go on the website and it's under the
They probably have a
duplicate design.
template.
template. They'll probably have a
I forgot
template
what the
on here.
duplicate
take the
design is,
home
but
and
first
then-
winner wins that car. And then you look at all the other prizes, you're gonna win diamond watches.
I think for
Like,
the
you know, it's not just
duplicate
cash
design.
prizes. This guy is
And they do chairs
barber,
also.
a
Competition.
drawing,
You
and
go in
then
a chair.
Oh
Barber
yeah.
chairs.
So he's gonna give you something, and you gotta do that. Like that's what the duplicate design is. He's gonna give you a design. You gotta duplicate it to your best ability on the person. Yep.
On the same student ticket. Is that on that too?
Yeah, the student tickets online, and you guys your teachers. He drives throughout the tri-state and gives tickets out. So
I got a question.
What's up, bro?
Is it like the IPS?
okay, so the IBS is more international. Is skin, styling, like it's everything. They just started. Did you go this year?
Yeah.
So if you notice, they just kind of started with the barbering part of it, it's mostly 99.9% barbering.
So the
But
guy
it's-
who's hosting
it's-
is the guy.
Last year he had Rick Ross there. The year before that he had another artist.
Yeah, no, he had Rick Ross and Axel Leon, which is from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
Troy.
he's-
Yeah, Troy Abbey.
The year before.
Yeah, shout out to
They
Axel.
have
Dropping a new
hundreds of
character.
people
in the building.
You walk in, it's live, man. You hear the music,
Skeleton alone.
good food, good people, man. It's dope.
Do you recommend to go the last day? Because I know like the last hour they start handing stuff for like third cheap.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
it's gonna
It's
be
a 3-day thing.
event.
It's
So
usually
they got
one
the
day.
pre-party thing. Then they
It's
got
usually
the
one day, but it's a 3-day
The
event.
first day is the barber student.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
I'm not
Monday's
sure.
a car.
You probably want to go on a Sunday.
Sunday.
Hey, you know, but feel free to inbox him. He will respond.
Yeah.
Jay Majors, he will respond to you. And you guys will, he's going to tell you most likely go on the website.
For barbers that are in the industry to get awards and stuff like that. That's more for like networking and partying. The next 2 days, where the show is going to be, where you're going to have all your vendors and all the clipper companies and all that. They're going to have their educators there, educating, using their clippers and
If there's one show I look forward to, it's definitely that.
every year.
It's definitely that.
That show last year motivated me,
It did.
and I started promoting more, putting more haircuts, making more videos.
Lit a fire under your butt.
It lit, yeah, because I was like, there's people coming
Yeah, I
into
was
my
looking,
city.
man. I remember last year I went with a bad foot. I was just limping the whole time like that.
It's the way to go, though.
That's, yeah,
Like,
worth it.
I would never go with Jordans again, I'll tell you that.
You're gonna be stepping on your feet.
No, and my joint will hurt.
What do you want? You come up being like,
You.
babe,
What's wrong with Air Max?
you gonna let me throw fade on you?
I went with the MX 270s, bro. I was like, I'm gonna be
True,
walking.
man. I need a haircut.
I'm mad. I went with the one.
I need a haircut, True.
That shit was killing my feet, bro. When I got home, my feet was swollen, bro.
Make sure to bring color.
I used to do that haze.
Air Max Barber X.
I look good, ball,
So
bro.
the Air Max is something.
He does, no, he does.
I got a medium.
Air Maxes, Vapor Maxes.
I'm walking in there.
And is it actually cheaper the products out there, or because IBS you can get it cheaper online? That's what I'm saying.
So best thing.
They compete with each other in there, though.
This is a
CC
tip.
Barber, they compete with each
This
other.
is just a tip. If you wait till the end of the show, when they're like on the last of it, they might reduce the price of certain things. So you might get a cheaper deal.
But let me
But
tell you
anything
something.
that's popular, they're gonna sell out.
They sell
Yeah.
out a lot. Sometimes they sell out the first day.
They're gonna sell out.
But
They
you're also gonna find cheap stuff
You
there.
gotta find
You're
cheap
gonna
stuff.
find cheap stuff there, like online, just like that, because there's
Come
a
by our
whole bunch
booth.
of people
We'll have
that's
stuff.
competing with each other. So
Thank you, Gabby.
you'll have the same thing. You'll have the same thing. You'll be like, I give you $5,
Gabby and Abby.
$10.
And as far as like starting, you guys are starting out now. So I wouldn't get myself into like the real expensive stuff. Get something that's gonna work for you for like for a good 2-3 years, and it's gonna work for you and take your profession somewhere. Then when you start making the money, as long as you're where you take your career to, then you want to go on a Baby Bliss, or you want to go on a War Vintage, or like the Series Braun now 9 that costs like $300, and you want to get into stuff like that, and then you want to pamper your clients in a certain way. Then you get yourself into that. But when you're starting out, I say don't get into so
Try
expensive things.
everything first. So I have all the cordless seniors, the 100-year edition. I paid $300 per clip. My favorite clipper is a Wall Legend. Amazon, you get them for like $50. That's my favorite clipper. And a Fast Feed, Amazon for like $47 with a ceramic blade. I use those more than any of the other. Like, I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying, like, when you start getting busy at a shop, you're gonna want to use clippers that you could sometimes just plug in and go. You know, I like the cordless stuff, you know. But
When
like,
I started out here in the Bronx, man, I started out with the Taper 2000.
Yeah.
I use
That
4
was a
clippers.
great machine.
I started out with the Taper 2000.
I actually have 8
I
clippers.
got the cordless outline.
4
That's all I got to
lines.
do, like Cruella.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico, they give you the Taper
I go
2000.
back to my roots. I always
Remember
try
came
to
with the
do
trimmer? The black little
It's different too, but I go back to my roots.
Y'all get 9 cones. Do you have the cone triple? 9 cones. Do you take Atlantic barber cone? Or that's the XR?
Oh, I got one of those. It's similar, it's not that one. Yeah, I got one.
So one more time, shout out to our sponsors, man. As you see our new logo for Hair Chopperz, that's our product line. 1874. The number there is 718-489-9720. So if you're a barber that's looking to get your license, make sure to check out the teachers here, especially Truth to Barber artists and Robert, who's directed here. Shout out to Kennedy Barber Club out of 66 Milwaukee Road. You can check me out and my staff there for the finest man grooming. Shout out to that. So we got Metro in the building, Chopperz Barbershop, Outreach Rock, we got Fitz in the building, Baby Killer. We got a packed house today here in New York. It's crazy. We're thanking Tribeca Barber School for inviting us here and having a great business here at this so make sure to follow our social medias at here Chopperz _radio, at Ryan Barber Official, at Illville _Barber, at
I was reading them earlier. I was like, that's sick. That's different. I like it.
Macho 9114.
Those are special editions.
Shout out to John Jordan too. Follow him at John_Jordan. Great barber. He's a great barber. We also got Truth to Barber out here. And make sure to follow his man. Got the funniest videos out here, man. So make sure to follow that. Follow
silent. I'm not getting
I'm gonna end this live.
Shout out to everybody that's been here. Students that are here right now, and they're learning and getting the stuff in the video. Soaking in those knowledge that
It was a live video. It was on his.
Then we go. If you guys, I know you guys like Instagram. Do swipe to the left. Then you take a picture. So then you can swipe up and find more stuff. Pick the location. New York. Or
More people
This is
will see
important. This is very important. Like when you add a location or your picture to advertise, especially you in New York, thousands of people gonna see that picture,
see how
and they're gonna locate from you.
we go Queens, New York, and all that. Okay, so you wanna go to New York?
I live 2 people see that.
And we could also do gifts, like a haircut flyer, get a little flyer. You know, get people's attention. Just go in there.
Hashtag. Always hashtag.
That too. You can
If you guys want to build like social media pages for your work,
the hashtag.
keep a private page for yourself and don't add your private feed just for your business. Anything that have to do with your work. So just so like when you gain a following, I'm not saying following that much, but it's gonna help you grow. And people just they just want to see your work. They don't want to see you petting your cat.
use popular hashtags too.
They want to see your work, or you know what you do on a daily basis that has to do with hair, stuff like that.
So this is Kino the Barber.
Ladies and gentlemen, so we wrapping it up here with Kino the Barber, his freestyle design doing the Versace.
Thank you, everybody.
Amen, amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we got a young guy who actually works with Chef the Barber in Sharp Image, Connecticut. And he's a youngin in the game, man. He's only 18. He started by the age of 17. And one of the youngest barbers to ever get licensed in Connecticut. So I'm going to introduce this young man here who has a great, successful career ahead of him. I'm introducing Fitz the Barber, man. So Fitz, stand up here, man. Share your story.
What's up, I'm Fitz. I don't really do this stuff.
Fitz is shy.
Basically, I started. I never really had like a real job. I always worked in the shop. I've never, I started out at this barbershop at the end of my road. I just walked there every day. It was like 3 miles down the road. I just walked there, and I learned everything at the basics from there.
Which barbershop?
It's called Trinidad's Barbershop. It's like a little barbershop right in my town.
Playfield, right?
Playfield, yeah. And and I go to tech school, so I started cutting hair my sophomore year, so like when I was 15 years old, and I really sucked. I was really bad. And I never when I first went to my school, I thought I was going to be a hairdresser. I used to be able to braid really well. I still braid, only like the cornrows though. I used to be able to do like a fanny braids, zipper braids, all that stuff. And You know what I mean? You
That's
go.
why I say school's the hardest.
For real, like I was so miserable in school. Like you guys are lucky. You guys get to go to a school with truth. You know, I have to go to a real high school. Like I'm still in high school. I'm a senior in high school, and I deal with like I have to get all my papers in. You know, I have to do so much, and it's like it's miserable. Because when I started working in a real salon, it was like, wow, this is what it is. Because at first I worked in a salon. I did female hair, and I was actually not bad, but fast forward, I left because they were complaining I was taking all the walk-ins because I was a barber, and that was my part of my job title. So I just took all the walk-ins, and they were complaining because they're like, oh, he's not sharing the walk-ins, but I'm not sharing, but like everybody else is busy doing something, you know what I mean? So I was like jobless for probably 6 months, and all of a sudden I'm reaching out to these barbershops in my town. They just don't want to teach me. They're telling me no, like I don't want to teach you. I'm like, why? They're like, well, you're not licensed right now. I'm like, all right, that's fair, but you can't just teach me. You know what I mean? Like you can't help me out. Because like eventually, if you teach me, I'm gonna reciprocate that back to you, and go under you. And so one of my boys got cut by Chef, and I didn't know he was even around.
Like Chef sliced him?
Huh?
What?
Got you gotta stop talking. They got a haircut by Ruben, and I was like, damn, that's really nice. Like that's fresh. Like I want to know how to cut like that. So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna DM it. Like everybody else is telling me no, the worst he can tell me is no. So I DM'd him. He's like, yeah, come down. I was like, all right, bet. So I just
So it all went down in his DM.
Yeah, it went down in the DM.
And I went down and
what?
It was still when he still chill. It was it's not jokes. You're making me sweat. I went to the barbershop and when I still had the one chair in there. It was the white chair. I remember the first day I went there. It was cold as hell. I got lost going down there because I typed in the wrong address. I had no gas. Got in there and we just talked. Like it was like 10 o'clock at night by the time I left. Because it was like I was talking to myself because I love what I do. Like I don't fake it on Instagram. I don't front for Instagram. Like I love what I do. It's not something that I go into the barbershop. I'm like, damn, I got like a million heads today. No, I'm like, damn, I got a million heads today. That's like a million different people to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Each client has something different.
For real.
Everybody's different. And
everybody, they see you. And when I first started working there, nobody wanted to go to me because like if they see like a young kid and they're like, nah, you can't cut. But like I can cut. Like I know for a fact I can cut. I'm not trying to sound cocky. I'm just confident in myself. And when I started to get confident in my craft, in my school, my like people like students, they didn't like me. They were telling me like you're cocky now. You're like arrogant. People from barbershops in my hometown, they don't like me because they think I'm arrogant. They think they don't like how I am on Instagram, how positive I am. It's like why am I gonna hate somebody for doing the same thing I am? Like why I'm gonna hate you or you or you? It's not like if any one of you reach out to me and yo, can you help me with this? Of course. Like why would I say no to that? There's no point. And Ruben had taught me is like you can't please everybody. I used to be a people pleaser. I was like if you were unhappy, I wanted to know why I wanted to fix it. And it's hard to. It was taking such a toll on me. I'd be depressed. I'd be like, damn, Ruben, like, I just can't like make everybody happy. He goes, bro, you just gotta be a tough ass. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a lot. Like my own parents, they were like, nah, you can't. Like you're not gonna be a barber. You're not gonna make any money. You're not gonna do this. And I was like, all right.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
So when I was talking earlier, a lot of you weren't here. You were busy. This is basically what I was saying. It's gonna be the people in your family, your friends are gonna discourage you. Yeah. They're gonna discourage the crap out of you. They told me, my stepfather, I love him to death. He taught me how to be a hardworking man. My mother too. I used to get dragged out of barbershops when I was 14, 15 because he wanted me to do carpentry. He wanted to do the family trade. So I heard all of this. I'm 33. I just got licensed 2 years ago. Best decision I ever made in my life. But this is why you're going to feel discouraged. Because be the same people in your life that you're with every day, that see you every day, that know everything about you, that are not going to believe in you. And the main reason, not all the time, but most of the time, is because they hate that you're doing better than them, or they hate that you're
happy
and you're in a path in your life that you're going like forward, you're moving forward, you're maturing, you're growing, everything we talked about today. So that, you know, it happens, and he heard it from recently. He just started losing best friends, and I told him because he wants to better his career in this path.
Yep.
So if this is happening to you right now, these are the toxic.
You're doing all the right things.
Whether it's your sister, cousin, friend, best friend, whatever, stranger, someone you met online, whatever, you gotta let that person go.
It's your life, your decisions. You do what you
gotta
got.
move away from that. You gotta move away from that.
Let him go. Let him go.
Like I just started doing well. I just started, you know, getting like Instagram. Like I'm starting getting bigger on Instagram. I just started getting more followers on Instagram. And you know, when you start getting hate, that's when you know something's happening. I finally started getting hate. You know what I'm saying? People are like, you're arrogant, you're cocky. Like, no, like, give me a break, bro. Like, you're talking trash on a 17-year-old kid. You know, like, what does that say about
Grown barbers talk about
Trust me when I tell you, this kid is ahead of his time. I follow him and I listen to what he says on his videos, and I really encourage you guys to follow him because he speaks a lot of interesting knowledge, a lot of facts, a lot of positivity. Follow this kid; he's way ahead of his time.
And we make fun videos in our haircuts. Oh yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
I like the leprechaun.
You like the leprechaun one?
Yeah,
That was nice.
I think that
You guys ain't gonna watch that one.
No, the best one was the wrestling match. You ain't seen
that was boxing.
Boxing match.
Yo, I got mad. Yo, fun fact. He almost knocked me out one time. We were boxing. He was, bro,
I don't abuse him, guys. I don't.
Listen.
You abuser.
We were boxing, like we're just sparring.
Are you a Redskins or a Giants fan or Cowboys?
Nah, Patriots.
Oh.
That's okay.
Come on.
No, listen.
Again.
We were just sparring, and he backs me up. Like I back him up into a corner, and he goes to hook me, and I went to dodge, but I go into the hook, and I'm like, I almost get knocked
Kids
out.
always want to test me. I tell them, look, I boxed for 12 years, man. I really don't feel like doing it. He wanted to test me,
So you abused him.
Yeah, I know.
Shut up, man.
It's not cool. But no, like for real though, like if someone's gonna tell you like not to do something,
he's got to work with him wearing that Eagle stuff
when you
on.
prove something wrong, it's like the best feeling in the world. You know what I mean? Like I'm not here to do things for other people. Like helping other people is fun and all, but like in the end, like it's about you. It's about your career. And if you're not gonna do well, what's up? You got a question? Oh, I thought you.
No.
Hey, Fitz, I have a question for you.
All right.
How long you been doing this? At the barbershop?
I just got licensed last summer. I only been licensed for like not even a year.
I couldn't believe how much hate he got.
When did you start with Chef?
Last
what
year.
month?
Around
this time last month? February,
March.
How many clients did you have?
None. I had like 2 or 3.
And
like,
what number were your haircuts? 1 through 10. 10 being really good. When you started?
When I started working with Ruben?
Yeah, how do you feel your haircuts were?
Like a 4 or 5.
Okay, so now, a year later, how many clients did you say you have?
I don't even know.
A lot?
Yeah.
You do well for yourself?
Yeah.
And where do you rate your haircuts now?
I don't know. I understand myself. Like probably 8 or 9. They're not perfect.
You're supposed to.
I think
Do yourself.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you're your own competition.
Yeah,
he's a humble dude though. Like
I'm not
me
saying
personally, I think he is like
the future, right? You can see potential.
He's young,
but that's because he's hungry.
So what would you have to say to them, starting where you started? Because they're gonna start with you.
Yeah.
Just how you started in a business, trying to get in with nobody there. What do you tell them to do? Like what?
Find someone like Ruben. Find someone who actually cares about you. Like Ruben. Like I know for a fact, I can call Ruben at any time of the night. Like
past 12.
Whatever. Like anytime, and he'll do anything. He'll do anything for me. I thought
anything.
Anything.
Okay, like
no.
That's like weird as hell. I'm just. What if you were hungry and you wanted KFC? Would he go and get it for you?
I mean, like.
Grab a Snickers.
No,
Yeah.
Nope.
You said anything. I'm just trying to say it was anything. So.
One of the most important things to remember is somebody will always try to bring you down, no matter how good you're doing, how positive you're doing. People always criticize that I do comedy on top of being a teacher, but now look at, I just became a state examiner on top of what I do. I have other opportunities coming over the horizon. choose your path and stay on that path. There's always gonna be people who go negative along the way.
And take every single opportunity that comes your way. Every
Enjoy.
single one. Like this, like hair choppers, I got opportunity to come, I came. Like I'm not in school right now because I need to do this. This is more important to me than it's Fitz FITZ dot bar.
All the names are gonna be written on the board. But like, I was gonna ask you, son. This came from Abby, his lovely girlfriend.
Yeah.
How do you manage? Cause like I get this question a lot. I got you know, big family, my wife, children, all that. But as a kid, as not a kid, a young man that's still in high school, or let's say you want, whatever the case may be. How do you manage your personal life? Like going in the shop, learning when you can, and then doing your extra activities like track, football, because he still does all that. It's his last year of high school. Like, how do you manage all that and stay calm with it?
It gets hectic a lot of time. With academic work, I'm not the best academic student. You know, I just kind of do what I can. Like in school,
Do enough to get by.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like more of like all C student type of thing. But
It's okay.
with sports, it's like I want to be in the bar. Like I'm the type of dude that like I only know how to work hard. Like I'm not a fan of like I go to the gym. You know, I work out and stuff. So like I'm no.
You got a six pack?
Nah, I got a little layer of that. But you got exposed to
We've been hanging out with Phil all night.
And like, it gets, you just kind of go to practice, you know, like the barbershop's 30 minutes away from me. And for me to go to practice, it ends at 4 or 5. All the clients are normally out the door. It normally just says appointments by the time, you know, I get to the barbershop. So I don't work, I only work Fridays and weekends right now. But during the summer I work 7 days a week because I want it that bad. I was there at, you know, 9, 10 o'clock till closing. You know, you gotta want it that bad. If you don't want it that bad, then you're not gonna be successful enough, you know. And I don't really count it. Oh, hours a day to, you know, to close. I mean, like, for example, like Friday, get there, you know, if I didn't have school, like, get there at 10, work till 9 at night. Yeah, I don't know.
11 hours.
No, it's long hours, especially on the weekends. It's long hours.
Like Keno wakes up at 3 o'clock because Keno sells products. He'll go to the post office, pack his products up, get to the shop, start his day early. What, Keno, what? 5 a.m. I can't hear you.
That's what it takes, though. That's what it takes. That's the hustle it takes.
No, it does. That's what I'm saying. So
like Eric Thomas, I think.
You're gonna put in hours.
Eric Thomas is. He wakes up at like 4 or 3 a.m. and he starts his day. Like, dude, that's freaking insane. I can't. I'm not a morning person.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
You're gonna have days. I had a day last week. I woke up, brought my daughter to school. I worked from 8:30 to 8 o'clock at night. I traveled. I had to cut up like a team. I got there 8:30, started cutting them up at 9, cut until like 2 something in the morning, didn't get home till 3, fell asleep at 3:30, wake up at 7 o'clock and do another 12 hours. And it was like that every single day pretty much. So there's going to be nights where you don't sleep. There's going to be nights where you just don't sleep at all. You're going to be tired.
You're going to feel good. It's
but
a good time.
It's worth it because I love what I do. That's why I don't say no. Like every opportunity I get, I take it. Like
doesn't matter how small or how big.
Yeah, I got that opportunity. I wasn't saying no. You know, like next week, I'm from Connecticut. So not next week. In 2 weeks, I gotta come back here to New York. There's a bunch of basketball teams in the Nationals, high school kids. I'm gonna cut up a lot of those kids and a lot of teams. So I'm gonna end up working 10, 12 hours at my shop. I'm gonna take like 2 days off just to stay up here to take care of like, I don't know, 96 kids. It's gonna be crazy. But it's because I love to do it, and it exposes me. It shows. It's advertising for me. I get to share my haircuts with people that ain't from New York or Connecticut or whatever it is, all around. And you know what? I'm not scared. I enjoy that stuff. So and then I gotta go back to work right after that. So I'm preparing myself for that. So when you get to that point, you're gonna work, but you enjoy it, you're gonna like it, and you bring on challenges like that. So it's steps, like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen.
You know, it goes to word of mouth. That
Yep.
contributes to word of mouth. Like, what it like you do that, and what if like the boy's like uncle is like freaking, you know, Rondo. You know what I mean?
It happens. That's
like,
what
you
happens.
never know.
I used to this career has got me, you know, to meet people like Ray Allen. In Connecticut, I would drive to his house and cut his children's hair.
Awesome.
You know, eat some dinner.
Mhm.
He's met DJ Khaled. You know, like I can't, like me, as busy as I am, I can't do stuff like that no more. But the more you put yourself out there, the better you get, the more you grow. People are watching.
Yeah, you never know who's gonna walk through the door. Like he
In
said,
this day
you
and
never
age,
know
there's a
who's gonna
camera
walk through the door.
everywhere. Somebody is watching. I got, you know, like social media is crazy. I got people from Russia hitting me up. You know what I'm saying? If I can fly to an expo or, you know,
We had
stuff
people
like
from
that.
like Brazil calling in.
Brazil,
India, all these
It
places
really
just
puts
to
you
see
out
it.
there. It gives you opportunity.
Like,
It
I don't
really
know
does.
anybody in Brazil.
Me
but-
personally, I don't want to be one of these, like, I don't like calling them Instagram barbers because they work hard to where they're getting at. You know, all these big names. You know, that's not really me. I like being behind the scenes. Like, he always talks to, I know how to get him there.
Yeah, but sometimes you have no choice.
No, I know what you mean, but I'm
If
talking
your
about, like,
haircuts take you there, you have no choice but to.
no, I know, but like, you'll be surprised what
Exactly.
this career could do for you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
This is
And it's growing. Our business, our industry is growing.
No one respected
By the
barbers
minute.
before.
and it's so much competition here in New York. Like he said, it's 520 hours or 510 hours. That makes it half the time of any other state, pretty much, right? Of schooling, with 8 million people in the city of New York, right? What's it, 8 million?
Yeah.
8
Just
million
the city,
people.
just the city.
How many of
Give or
these
take.
people want to be barbers now, or cosmetologists or something? So the competition is like really,
growing,
it's
yeah.
just growing and growing and growing. So you have to stand out. You got to put your hours in. You got to work hard. You got to listen. You got to listen to truth. You got to listen to your teachers once you get to the shop, and you just got to accept being a student for.
Surround yourself with mentors.
Yes.
Not just hair, just
Because
like
it-
like the whole Gary Vee thing, you know, like
If you're gonna
Yeah,
do this for
focus on
30
stuff
years,
like that.
People
you're
who
gonna be
gonna
somebody
support
else's
you.
teacher soon.
People who's gonna support you day in, day
Yeah.
out, no matter what you do, because this is time consuming. You're spending a lot of time away from your house, away from your family. You know, we do sacrifice. I got kids, I got 2 kids, and you know, I spend most of the time I'll spend it with him right there.
and you know
I see my coworkers more than I see my child and my wife.
Yeah.
I do.
I spend more time with him. I got a newborn.
I work with them 12
My
hours.
dog, yeah.
Sometimes
I got a
don't see-
newborn. I spend more time with him. I freaking hold him more than my newborn.
Like, I don't even see my daughter sometimes. I have to go in at night. She's sleeping. I'll sit on her bed. It's a sacrifice, but you want to know what?
It's worth it in the end.
I
it
guess
at the
it's
end,
worth it.
though.
I'm doing it because she gets everything she wants. She's gonna have a college education. You know, she's anywhere that I need to take her, or just whatever my daughter wants. I want to make sure I can give it to her and support her. So I bust my butt off now. So later on, you know, everything's a lot easier.
And like when you're doing this whole like student experience, like document it. Like you guys are students, you have prime. You know, like people love seeing progress. Like
Yeah,
Hatch
I
hit
do.
me up one day and he
I
was
love
like,
it.
bro, like I see you getting better, like noticeably better. And like people love watching the story. People love watching your journey. Make a story. Like the reason I do like the stupid little motivational things I do.
It's not stupid.
Okay, whatever. But the little motivational things I do is because I saw like Ruben showed me like Gary Vee. He's like a motivational entrepreneur. Like that's why I do it. Gary Vee. Oh, Gary Vee. I like Gary Olmstead too. But yeah, you just gotta do something to stand out, and you have to figure out what you want to represent. For me, I want to represent positivity and like together, like like as cheesy as it is, but it's true. Like together, you know what I mean? Like being a family, because there's so much hate in the industry. That's like a backside of the industry.
But there's also so much support.
Exactly.
There's a lot of support.
There's pros and cons.
Another one, like Brian's from New York. He came to Connecticut. He didn't know anybody, so he met us. We became a team. Like it just happened. Like we clicked. Truth has his own podcast. He's a teacher. He didn't have to bring us up, but he did. So it's like he's supporting us. We support him. It's you learn new people. You learn new things. You got.
There's people out there that really want to help you out there.
Yes, there are.
You know what I mean? So if you just look for it, search for people, you know, there's people out there that's gonna help you out. Cause just the way we came from Connecticut, he came from wherever, Connecticut, but in the boonies, you know. We all came here, you know. We come and teach y'all, you know, a little something. You might learn something. You might get something from it, you know.
The worst someone can tell you is no. That's the worst someone can tell you.
But the best thing is none of us will.
Yeah, for real.
Nope. You hit me up 3 in the morning on my DM and just talk about life, and it happens a lot.
He's actually up at 3 in the morning. He's actually up.
I watch a lot of Netflix.
Yeah, for real.
Why not? But like, I'm breastfeeding too. But
That's
if you have any questions ever, like, you know, I'm living proof that you can, like, this time last year was the last eviction I went through. You know, I had my family in a 2-bedroom, 4 kids, 2-bedroom, and 2 dogs. You know, tight ass spot. Excuse my language. Tight spot. Like this really changed. Like, it only took me. No, it's gonna be like 2 years. I had my shop for almost 2 years, right? But anyway, that small amount of time, I changed. It was 90 days.
Like that. Yep.
It was 90 days, and there was more people. Man, let me tell you something. There was more people, mostly relatives, from my side, from my wife's side, so-called friends,
that were negative.
Negative, trying to use me, trying to get the family discount, trying to, you know, like, no, like everything you heard today, like, really soak it in, because I'm telling you, I'm living proof. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. I'm not no rock star. I'm a barber, but like, I'm the only business owner in my family. When everybody thought this was a joke, I'm the only one in my family owns a business.
And everybody has a story.
You know, yeah.
Everybody has a story. Everybody has something that they go through, went through. You know.
Have you told these kids your story?
Some of them know it. Some of them don't.
Do you have a story?
Oh, my story.
What made you want to be a barber?
It was my grandmother. I started from my grandmother. She my grandfather was her main client. She used to cut him, and she was terminally ill. And then she knew she couldn't be able to cut him after she was gone, so she taught me how to cut hair so I could cut him. She was a beautician who graduated from the New York Beautician School that's not even there anymore. And then from there I started working, from my house, cutting my friends, and eventually I moved on into a barbershop, did an apprenticeship, and then from there I started cutting in a barbershop professionally. Then eventually I got into the teaching. But that's how I originally
And now
started.
you are a New York Examiner. Anybody has any questions or anything to say, or no? Are you ready for this?
Like you said, there's there's like 100,000 barbers. How do you indifferent yourself with them?
You gotta find it.
Yeah.
You gotta find it.
Be you.
Your style.
Be you. You're gonna love what you do.
By learning from everybody that you can.
Yeah, listen. This is the thing.
The way you talk.
You're gonna fade. You're gonna learn how to fade from someone, right? That person's gonna teach you how to fade, or you're gonna learn by watching him fade. As soon as you start getting better, you're gonna do it your own way.
Yep.
You're gonna do.
We all fade.
It's gonna be your fade.
Everyone cuts different. He doesn't cut like I teach him.
One other
You're
thing
gonna develop your own style.
One other thing that's missing that we haven't spoken about. We are in customer service business, 100%. So this industry depends on your hospitality. That's gonna bring. It doesn't matter. I've seen barbers that do a bad job, but their personality, their attitude towards that client, and it brings the customer right back to that chair. That's how they keep their clients. That's how they keep clients walking in through that door. You know, so this is a customer service. So it depends on the customer service and the service that you're giving that client.
How you treat that person.
It's more than just a haircut.
It becomes like a relationship.
It is a relationship.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying that at first, you're meeting that person, but then it becomes a relationship.
Exactly, yeah.
Then you know how you doing, how your kids are doing.
Your client's gonna sit in your chair and tell you things that you're just like.
Their wife don't even know.
Yeah, you're like, why are you telling me this? But you know what I call myself? It's weird to say, but I call myself the White Oprah because
Dr. Phil.
Yeah, but there's already a Dr. Phil, so I don't know.
Just go with it.
It's funny because I'm a dude and she's Oprah. I'm white. But I end up talking to people and like I could change their day. I could, they'll change my day
happened
20
too.
clients in one day. Each client has 3 different stories they're telling me. You know, it's like, I'm like, uh-oh. Or it's just, but this is information. You know what I said? If you ever wanted to read a good book, let a barber write a book. Like,
oh man,
on
that's one
stories
crazy
you
book.
heard, it will probably be the best selling book ever.
Yeah, sometimes you think you got it worse until
Until
you
you
hear
hear
a
somebody else's
customer.
story.
You be like, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great.
I'm gonna give you a
Compared to this dude.
specific way to you to kind of like separate yourself from everybody. Start to learn and love how to cut kids. That's like very specific. There's barbers that hate cutting kids. Fitz sees how I deal with kids, dude. I make it like an amusement park for them.
It's really weird when you first watch it.
But then you're like I have a kid.
It's like, wow, it actually
It
works.
works. If you built that relationship with that kid,
He's
Now
gonna
you
be
got
your
that kid
client
forever.
for a long
That's what I used to
time.
say.
He's gonna be your client, he or she.
Yep.
Yep.
It's
So
gonna be
everybody will be like, kid.
We gotta wrap it up here.
I'll
real
be like-
quick. Thank you, Fitz the Barber, for being here, man. Make sure to follow his Instagram at Fitz the Barber, man.
You know right
It's
there.
inspirational. This is a young kid. He's only 18, started at 17, got licensed at 17. So that's an inspiration and motivation for you guys to see how the process it is as a barber. I want to find out what you guys have learned here in Tribeca and what they're teaching you. So real quick, we're gonna give out some prices. What are the 3 colors of the barber pole stand for?
Graham. Yep.
Right.
How did it come about, real quick? Oh, you got it. How, you know how it came about?
Birthday surgeons?
Yep.
There were a lot of things.
So
Yeah.
they would use the white towels, and the blood would be
Butchers.
on it. They would hang them outside, and then the wind would blow it and it would wrap around the pole.
Yep.
So they decided to add the blue for.
All right, next
Yep.
question.
Good.
Who founded the first barber school in the United States?
Nobody?
Who do you know? Come on.
I'm gonna answer this for them.
I don't know this one.
I don't know it either.
Fitz!
I don't.
You
I
just
don't.
took your test.
I took my test last year, bro. I don't know. They didn't ask me out in the test.
Do I win the
All
prize
right,
if I
But you
get it
studied
right?
for it though. You studied for it, right?
Yeah.
So you should
Anybody
know.
knows? All right, bro. Anybody knows the name?
Maybe more.
Yeah, there you go. You cheated, but it's okay. You got it.
No, he had an assist. He got an assist. It's all good.
Yeah.
He got an assist.
It was within the system.
Where was the first barber school established in the United States?
Chicago.
Where? Chicago.
Come on!
You cheated. Where?
South Chicago.
South Chicago, yes, man. Here's another good match. There we go, man. And right now, man, shout out to David because he's been soaking all the knowledge that we've been given here at Hair Chopperz from all the veterans we have here. And
Hey,
so we got him a little something, man. So we got him a little.
David was
machine
the
for him
first
to
one
get
to
his
sit down
career
and pay
started.
attention.
So shout out to him, and he gets
Shout
to
out to
design
myself and Brian decided
Whoa,
to grab
machine.
a pair of clippers.
A question barbers get a lot is like, what should we use that's affordable? This is a very affordable clipper, all designer corded. It's the second most selling clipper on the planet. And this clipper, big names still use them, like A-Rod and them. This is a really, really good clipper. You can get it down the street for $40, $4.99 or $50, whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can Amazon for $25.
$50.
$50.
Or you can Amazon this clipper for $25. It's a really good clipper.
Long story short, David was the first one to ask questions, sit down. He only had 4 questions. Go that clip. Now you have 2, okay? Alright, guys.
Oh, hey,
Everybody,
hey.
thank you.
You still gotta spray those and wait 10 minutes.
So everybody,
No excuses now.
Hair Chopperz, man. Shout out to our sponsors, KeynoteTheBarber.com, Southside Barbershop, Gavo. Shout out to Tribeca Barber School here in Regal Park, Queens. You can call at 718-489-9720 if you want to start your barber career here in New York. Come see my man Truth the Barber Artist or speak to the director of the school, Robert. Shout out to Kennedy Barber Club, MVP Performance, and Sharp Image Barbershop. Thank you everybody for tuning in and see you on the next episode.